Good afternoon and welcome, everybody. This would be the Jeff Cameron Show right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Libations Friday, loosey-goosey edition of the program. Thanks for tuning to it. I'm Jeff. That's Tom. We are online, ESPNTallahassee.com. Go there. You miss portions of the show. We'll post the show there in the archived audio. All 3 hours of it go up when we're done. It's also on iTunes. You can email the show if you like. It's jcs@979espnradio.com. You can find me on Twitter at Jay Cameron Show. While you're there, look up at 979 ESPN Radio. You want to do that so that you can see us periscoped, if that's your thing. Some people say, man, I love the periscope. I've never heard somebody say that, but I bet they do.
I'm sure submarine captains do.
I had a terrible joke to start the show.
One ping only.
But I would tell you, too, that we're on YouTube. If you go to YouTube, type in ESPN Tallahassee, you'll find us there. And you can email the show, jcs@979espnradio.com. Florida State on the road to face Georgia Tech tonight. There you go. Little road ACC baseball tonight. And the Noles looking to win yet another ACC series, take 2 of 3. Cool to note, I mentioned... I don't know. Did I mention it yesterday? I knew Willie Taggart and President Thrasher were on their way to watch Harry Ellis play at Augusta.
I think you mentioned that
in passing.
That President Thrasher and Stan were going to be there. I don't know about Willie.
Yeah, I knew Willie was going, and I was kind of surprised by that because we are in the midst of spring football, but it was a flight up and a flight out, and it was a chance to support Harry Ellis and to go to the Masters and a chance to kind of be there to support their guy. Obviously, a terribly tough round yesterday for Harry. I began my morning talking to Trey there at Augusta, who sat down and had dinner last night with Harry Ellis, and kind of they talked it through. You'll be interested to note, we've all, if you've ever played a round of golf, you know that when things start to go south for you, your brain can be pretty goofy and think of all kinds of things and really twist you into a knot. Most professionals and players of that caliber, Harry Ellis is an academic All-American. He won the British Amateur. He has been an elite golfer. He's probably going to make it onto the PGA Tour in the not-too-distant future and forge a career in the sport, which means you're in the top 1% of the world who plays golf, so obviously very skilled. And yet he admitted last night at dinner after his round, yeah, I'm okay. I'm a little beat up. There were a few shots out there I don't even remember hitting. So that will tell you where his head was at when it went south.
I haven't heard that part of it before.
Yeah.
Whoa.
He had a double, and then there was a shot he hit into the trees, one of many, that he hit into the trees left yesterday. And Trey said he, almost ran out of the crowd to say, put that club back, because Harry grabbed a 3-wood and was trying to make up ground instead of taking his medicine. And it's a shot you can pull off, but it's a shot you'd pull off 20% of the time. That's not what you do here, because the result, if you don't make it, is a triple, is a guaranteed nightmare to send you spiraling. And the better shot is to just chip out, put it in the right spot on the fairway, eat your bogey, and move on to the next hole. But it just goes to show that even these guys, man, when they're out there and the pressure is at its, most intense, can sometimes do boneheaded things that us hacks do on a weekend. Oh, I didn't come here to lay up. I'm just here having a good time. I'm going to hit it through this little spot in the trees and get it up there and salvage a par. When course management says, don't do that. The smarter play is to trust the shot you're going to hit after that one and play it in the middle of the fairway.
See Brooks Koepka's U.S. Open victory. You're setting records about relative to par for the U.S. Open, and yet on a drivable green, and he's one of the longest players on tour, a drivable par 4, I should say, what does he do? He hits iron off the tee.
Yeah.
And that helps define his back nine on a Sunday at the U.S. Open, and he's hoisting the trophy.
Completely trusting that he was going to hit the next shot very well. And, it's a shame what happened with him yesterday. At the same time, it's a celebration that he ever got to do it. He's now played the British Open. He's now played the Masters. He's out there now. I haven't checked as we were coming on the air here at 3.
I'll have to check his
scores. I don't know
scores.
how he's doing.
We got featured groups up right now on the TV, so I'll pull up the scores.
He teed off at 12:10. I know that, and I know that he had a lot of that-a-boys and hang-in-theirs and everything else before going out there. We'll see if it just relaxed him and allowed him to move forward. One thing to note.
It did not. His front nine was a 43.
Okay. So we're in store for another long day, and that will be the end. It will be a merciful end to his time in Augusta. But that said, one thing you're finding out today, and that all the players found out at times yesterday, in addition to it's a second shot golf course, you have to land it in certain places so that you have a shot to hit towards the areas on the green that allow you to score and all those other things that you repeatedly hear. You know what else it is? A really damn difficult place to execute shots, a really damn difficult place to play golf. It's a tough course. And when the wind is swirling and doing things like it is today on 11 and 12, where guys are really finding it difficult to gauge where they can hit. I don't know what you do there on 12. If you can't read the wind, and there were guys hitting it into the azaleas today, I don't know if you just don't default and go left there. If you just say, you know what, I'm going to play to the big part of the green and just what's the worst I can do?
4 at that point.
Right.
Yeah,
I'll just take my 4.
But if you're in the azaleas or the water, you're looking at 5 or 6.
Right.
Yeah.
Like at some point, if you can't read that wind, don't you just say, well, I'm playing for bogey, which today, by the way, relative to the field, is going to be a par. So
right.
I'll do that.
Well, again, it's the argument that I made
with the Jordan Spieth thing.
When Spieth is crying about this par 5, or it should be a par 5 and not
and
a 4.
And if everybody's making, a
if
5,
the scoring average
matter.
is a 5, then it's a 5.
Right. It doesn't really matter.
Don't worry about what the card says.
Yeah, that's pride.
Right. If it's a 5, if it plays to a 5.2 and it's a par 4, guess what? If you make a 5, you're gaining a fraction of a shot on the field.
Well, and also it would just reveal that they screwed up, not you.
Exactly.
That this
is the dumbest hole I've ever played.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, it doesn't make a lot of sense then at that time. But by the way, for those just joining us, no, Tiger Woods is not coming back. I mean, that is to say, he's not coming back today to get himself in a position to win the Masters. In fact, right now, I think he's far from it. He may not make the cut.
It's going to be close. Yeah, the cut line is 5. He's flirting with the cut line. He just doubled. He was in the trees and the brush and all that kind of stuff, whatever it is. Is it the hedges out there? I don't know. Anyway, he's in vegetation, so he got out. He made double.
He's in a part of the course you seldom see.
Correct. Kind of like Rory was when he blew it on Sunday.
There was that house that nobody had ever seen before. There's a house over there.
They have properties on this golf course.
Not many, though.
So he just hit into 6, which is another long par 3 on a day that's unforgiving like today. He may shoot close to the average round. I mean, Jordan, for example, today is +3 for his round. He just birdied number 13, and he's struggling mightily. But if you shoot a 74 or 75 today, it might not be that terrible. The thing is, if you're trying to make up shots, today isn't your day to make up shots on the field unless you're playing just some of the most out-of-your-mind golf you've ever played in your life.
Which would be Dustin Johnson as he goes to Amen Corner, 3 under on the day.
Yeah.
And making a move.
Yeah, 67 today is like a 65.
It would also be, believe it or not, Vijay Singh. It would also be Ricky Fowler, who's played well today. It's fascinating, the idea that you got guys out there that big names. Justin Rose is playing well right now. He's moved into the top 20.
Well, you said this, and you just did, about it being a second shot golf course. Mm-hmm. And we talked about it earlier in the week, and I said it's kind of like drawing up quadrants, 12 to 3, 3 to 6, 6 to 9, 9 to 12. And it's not even that broad at Augusta. It's not 4 quadrants. There's little patches of areas that you have to land the ball. And so when the players, as frustrating as it is, even for somebody who's played, to watch a guy go back to the bag and switch clubs, and then go back to the bag and switch again, and talk with his caddy and hem and haw. When your landing area is the size of a dinner table, you really need to know what the wind is doing. If it's swirling, it's going to affect you in a way that even the Open Championship, it wouldn't affect you. There's a reason those greens are largely flat and slow, because the wind is too brutal.
Yeah.
If you're playing a guessing game with these conditions and it's a tile floor you're hitting onto, I mean, you could see why people are just going crazy out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And tomorrow the weather comes in, and so good luck. I mean, over par, we've seen Masters like this before. We've seen people win at even par. We've seen people in the lead on the back nine at Augusta with at +1. I mean, if the weather works that way, you can get it. Zach Johnson's year, I mean, it was cold and damp and windy, and he just played for par, continued to play for par. He laid up on all the par fives, got up and down because he could really putt.
Well, he's there again this week.
Well, I mean, and that guy won the British Open as well, doing something very similar.
Yeah.
So understanding and managing the course, managing your game, understanding where you're at. I mentioned Florida State on the road. The Noles, number 6 in the country, taking on Georgia Tech. It is the third ACC Road Series of the season. The Noles have now won 5 straight, by the way, against Georgia Tech, including a 3-game sweep when they were here a couple of years back. This is the first time we've been to Atlanta, which is ridiculous, for an ACC series against Georgia Tech since 2014. Games tonight, 6 o'clock tomorrow, 6 o'clock Sunday, 1 o'clock. Florida State, by the way, once again, you wonder how they're having the success that they are as a top 10 team. Well, they get on base, period. They are number 1 in the ACC as well as the NCAA in walks. They put pressure on people. There's a value to it.
Something you can set a watch by here, too.
No, it's amazing, right? I mean, it is. And right now, within the conference, they're second best in the conference. They're a line drive hitting team. The doubles. They're the second best in the conference in doubles. Let's check that. They're number 1 in doubles. So, they're not hitting a lot of home runs, but they're hitting the ball in the gap. And this is a team that is also pitching pretty well. So, right now it's about winning these series and putting yourself in a position to be a top 8 national seed and to be playing in the postseason at home. That's the whole thing you're trying to do here. I know it's hard to really dig into Florida State baseball right now, but slowly but surely, they won the series obviously against Notre Dame. They won the series against North Carolina. They won the series against Louisville, and now a big series against Georgia Tech awaits. Jeff Cameron, Show 97.9, ESPN Radio.
Why does Mahindra have 97% satisfaction? Ask our owners.
This gives me the ability to do what I want to do when I want to do it.
I decided on Mahindra just because of the sheer strength, the size, the ease of the workability, and it was more of a comfortable machine than the others.
You could lift just about anything with that thing. It has never let me down.
And now get the industry's best 7-year limited powertrain warranty on select models.
TNT.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Blountstown Highway, 574-4100.
Full Brilliance won every round as Jordan Spieth earned his title with a wire-to-wire win, equaling Augusta's all-time scoring record. Rolex is and always will be a part of golf and is proud to celebrate the Masters' greatest moments. It doesn't just tell time, it tells history.
Tiger Woods has been off kilter today. He went on a scavenger hunt at hole number 5. His second shot flying past the green and into the bushes. Tiger had to take an unplayable. That led to a double bogey, so Woods is 4 over par, 10 shots back right now just inside the cut line. The leader is Captain America, Patrick Reed. 3 straight birdies to begin this second round. Reed at 6 under for the tournament, a shot ahead of Australian Mark Leishman, who also opened with 3 straight birdies. Leishman is now through 6 holes. Rory McIlroy in solo third at 4 under par. McIlroy 1 under through 15 today. Jordan Spieth, the first round leader, 3 over today through 14. He opened with a double bogey at the first, then a bogey at number 2. Spieth only 1 birdie on his card today. He's 3 under for the tournament, 3 shots back, along with Louis Oosthuizen, Zach Johnson, Henrik Stenson, and Charlie Hoffman. Oosthuizen is 2 under today through 14. Tony Finau fires a 2 over 74. Finau at 2 under par, 4 shots off the lead. Dustin Johnson at 2 under as well. From Augusta, I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
Shot, save, rebound, score! The playoffs are here. The Corner Pocket is your home all spring long for all the heart-pounding moments in the NBA and Stanley Cup playoffs. It's held in a shot, save, rebound, score! The Corner Pocket on Appalachian Parkway next to Earth Fair is your headquarters for Trivia Tuesdays, Beer Bingo Thursdays, and of course, all the moments you'll never forget. For the championship! The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, 2475 Appalachian Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Games for Less, the only locally owned and operated gaming store in town, has Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used video games and game systems. The future of video gaming is at Games for Less, where they have both the PS4 and Xbox One. It's time to trade in your old systems and elevate your gaming experience now. Games for Less is also your headquarters for the best in retro gaming. Atari 2600, original Nintendo, Super NES, or Sega Genesis, you name it. They got it at Games for Less. Games for Less, the Super Walmart Shopping Center on Appalachian Parkway. Give them a call today at 850-219-3535. That's Games for Less.
Don't just listen to The Jeff Cameron Show. Watch it live. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Live weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. Head to ESPNTallahassee.com today to watch live or catch up on demand. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Brought to you by Nice Tire and Auto, your trusted Goodyear dealer.
Nice Tire and Auto, just minutes away from FSU campus.
Truck drivers, check this out. Kraft Nissan in Tallahassee took a brand new Nissan Titan and a brand new F-150 around town. Parked them side by side with a compare sign between them. The results were crazy. People couldn't stop checking out the Titan. They looked under the hood, sat behind the wheel, and called friends on the phone. Took pictures. So if you have not seen the new Nissan Titan, you need to come see what you're missing. There are a lot of reasons why Truck Trends magazine named the Nissan Titan the 2017 Truck of the Year. In head-to-head comparisons versus F-150, Titan has better handling, better 0 to 60 acceleration, more horsepower, more torque, and frankly, it's better looking. And the topper? Titan costs less than F-150. TruckYow.com joked that the Nissan Titan XD is the best F-150 you can buy. In April, save up to $10,000 off MSRP on Nissan Titans at Kraft. This Nissan Town Tallahassee may soon be turning into a Titan Town too. Kraft Nissan near Costco on Mahan Drive.
You're locked in with The Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Movie Parenthood. Steve Martin. Gil Buckman. He was Gil Buckman.
Oh, okay. I was going to say there was an actor named Gil Buckman.
No, his character was Gil Buckman. You never saw it with Rick Moranis and Tom Hulce?
No.
It's really good. Anyhow, I was Gil Buckman in the movie Parenthood the other night. There's a scene in which Steve Martin's character, who's a Little League baseball coach, his son is terrible. And he's in the outfield, and there's a chance for him to make a play, and he doesn't make the play. And this angry parent, who's actually played by Ron Howard's brother, you know, Goofy Ron Howard's brother?
Right, yeah.
He's hilarious.
Got the big forehead.
Why is he out there, Buckman? He's terrible. And the kid can hear it. We could have won the game. Yeah, he's screaming at him. And the kid's right there. You know, it's great. So the other night, Bryce played the late game. And so we're out there at 10 o'clock at night. It's ridiculous.
It's a school night. What the hell is this?
It's ridiculous. They started at 7:45, and we actually, you can't start an inning. If you're up, we were up 6-2. I say we were up.
That's only the beginning, folks.
I know. They're up 6-2, and if the time on the clock had run off as this other team is batting, then that would have ended the game. The problem was the kid popped up with 2 outs and 20 seconds left on the clock, and I'm praying we drop the ball so that the inning can continue and the game would be over, but he catches it. So we have to start the next inning.
Who, Bryce caught it?
No, some other kid caught it.
Okay.
And so it's a pop-up.
Damn it, Bryce!
No, it's a pop-up to second base, and the kid caught it. And you can't tell a kid to drop the ball, but he caught it. And so we had to play another inning, which means another 30 minutes, and you're like, damn it, man, it's 9:40 out here to start another inning on a school night, right? But that said, earlier in the game, and I like to stay in the back. I don't, again.
We got the promo's running from our talk earlier this week.
I have not heard the promo.
About helicopter dad.
Yeah, I'm laying in the cut. I'm laying
arm wrestling
back.
All the kids.
Well, no, I don't do any of that, but I go over. I had been going over. I don't do it now. To the dugout occasionally and just kind of peeking in and saying something to Bryce.
All right, Richard, if you could pin me for 3 seconds, I'll stop coming over here.
Anything to any other kid or coach, period. Only to Bryce. And even then, it's usually something very small and just, it's positive. I'm not going over there going, Bryce, you look like ass out here today. Get it together. I'm not doing that.
Be Brandel Chambly. The great Tom Watson once said, Bryce, after his first round 78 at the Masters in 84, keep to it.
By the way, I didn't know this, and we learned it yesterday. This is a quick aside. But not Hale Irwin, who is the announcer that Ryder Cup hero also won the U.S. Open? White
Curtis
hair.
Strange.
Curtis Strange.
Woo!
Curtis Strange. Well, credit to your partner for the apt description. But what I would tell you,
if you said annoying, I would have gotten it quicker.
Yeah. But did you know that he fired an 80, an opening round 80 at Augusta? And then ended up on a Sunday with the lead going to the back nine after posting a first-round 80, highest score ever, to then have the lead. He didn't win, but then to go and have the lead in the back nine on a Sunday. Imagine throwing up a freaking 80 and turning around and having the lead on a Sunday.
Wow.
That's pretty crazy. Curtis Strange did that. Anyhow, so as an aside, I'm laying in the cut there, and there's a fly ball to left field. Bryce is playing left field. Now, at this age, the hardest thing to do for kids, I think, I've noticed, is to catch fly balls, to read a ball off the bat when you're in the outfield. It's very difficult for kids to do. And he's the youngest kid on the team, and so, I think he struggles with that, period, because he does. So I have, in my mind, and there's a kid on third. And I'm thinking he's got no chance to catch this ball. There's none, because it's not right at him. He can catch it if it's right at him, but it's way to his right.
That's hard in its own right.
It is.
If it's hit right at you.
Especially in the lights.
Yeah.
But it's hit to his right. He's got a range over to the foul line, and he's got to go. He's got to get there. So I see him running, and I swear to God, it's slow motion, Tom. It is the movies. I'm freaking Steve Martin, Gil Buckman. I'm watching, and I'm going, oh, please catch it. Please just catch it. I just want you to catch it. I want you to have the moment. I want you to catch it and to feel good, because
this is forever going to change the...
It will just give him some confidence.
It's the course of your athletic career right in this moment.
So here it is. He's running over, and I don't think, to be truthful, anybody, his coaches, anybody thought he was going to catch that. Frankly, it wouldn't have been a disaster if he hadn't, because they had a comfortable lead, but also because it's not that easy a catch for any of those kids to make. And he's running over. And I'm thinking,
does he catch it?
I'm thinking we got no chance.
Come on.
He caught it. He caught it like a boss.
All right.
He backhanded it, made the catch, was shocked that he caught it, I think, because he stood there and there's a runner on third with less than 2 outs, and he's just like looking at his glove, and I couldn't help it. I had the impulse, throw the ball! And he did. He hit the cutoff, man. He got it in. And he admitted after the game, when I said, sorry about that, I just...
For the love of God!
He laughed. He handled it well. We got in the car. I said, hey, I'm sorry. I was probably pretty loud.
For the love of God!
You probably heard me yell, throw the ball.
For the love of God!
And he said, well, no, it's a good thing you did that. I was thinking about the catch. Like, right. I know you were.
Oh, no.
And so it was okay.
Oh, you've been positively reinforced. Oh,
no.
You're going to shout all the time now.
No, I'm not. But it was funny because I realized only later after the moment that quite clearly that everybody heard that. I mean, it wasn't a quiet throw the ball. It was.
I tried to play it too loud. It didn't let me.
For the love of God!
No, it was a very simple. He caught it, and I was like, oh, I was happy. And then I see him just looking at his glove while there's a kid thinking about tagging up, and he's still not throwing the ball in. And I throw the ball, and then and he did. He did. That was and he handled it well. Two, Bryce. And he handled it well, and he even laughed. But I had for those of you old enough to remember it, then there you go. I had that. That was my moment, my ridiculous Gil Buckman moment. You'd like that movie. Jason Robards in it. The great Jason Robards, the actor. You know.
I probably by face.
Go pull up Jason Robards. You know Jason Robards. He's been in a million movies. Brilliant actor.
Is he one of those guys? You're like, oh, that guy is in that movie.
Tom, God dog it.
Jason Robards.
Yes.
Robards.
Go look. When you see him, you're going to go, oh, Jesus, yes, I know Jason Robards. He's dead now. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
TNT Supercenter is your one-stop shop for the largest inventory of golf carts and accessories, stocking over 150 new and pre-owned carts with prices starting under $2,000. Whether you're looking for a standard or custom golf cart, TNT has the perfect cart for you. TNT carries and services leading brands and a full line of premium Mad Jacks accessories. Stop by or call to find out about our zero-down, low-interest rate financing, free delivery, and rental programs. Visit TNTSupercenter.com.
TNT.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
52665.
License number MP46050.
Come watch professional tennis in your own backyard. The 19th annual Tallahassee Tennis Challenger, April 21st through the 28th at Forest Meadows Tennis Center. Rising stars and tour veterans battle for ATP points and a wild card draw into the French Open. Fun for the whole family. Kids 10 and under admitted free. For more information, go to TallahasseeChallenger.com.
There's searching for low prices on appliances, and then there's finding them. At the Home Depot, get spring Black Friday savings of up to 35% on appliance special buys, like a Whirlpool top freezer refrigerator in stainless steel for just $398. Spring has sprung with up to 35% off appliance special buys at Spring Black Friday. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Valid through April 25th, U.S. only. While supplies last. See store for details.
Whatever you drive a Firestone. The 4,000 ASC certified technicians at Firestone Complete Auto Care will tell you there's nothing wrong with being a cog in a well-oiled machine. Head into Firestone Complete Auto Care and get $15 off a synthetic blend oil change.
Valid April 2nd through April 8th. Most vehicles. Additional fees may apply where lawful. Subject to restrictions available at driveafirestone.com.
What'll give up first? Your tired, calloused hands? Your willpower to keep pushing? Your clothing, fighting the elements? Nah, not with Carhartt. Everything you need is already built in. We just make your job a bit easier. I guess you could say we were born into this job. Boot Barn, carrying Carhartt, made since 1889. Boot Barn work. What's stopping you?
Hendrick.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your savings.
race into Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC for the best selection and service in Tallahassee. Get incredible discounts on racetrack-worthy vehicles like $10,000 off select new Buicks and GMCs. We are professional grade. And that's not all. We've got a huge used car inventory, so you can find a quality pre-owned vehicle to fit any budget. We even offer low payments and exceptional offers like 0% APR financing. Hassle? No way. Haggle? Never. At Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC, you'll deal with people you know, like, and trust, and get the honest, friendly service you deserve. That's why our customers will tell you there's no better car buying experience in town. Visit us today at 1850 Capitol Circle Northeast or online at DaleJr.BuickGMC.com. And remember, you too can be a Hendrick driver.
Looking for today's hottest wellness trends? Visit GNC, where you'll get them for less thanks to our buy one, get one half off deal. Save on black seed oil, turmeric, and milk thistle. Or mix and match Vitapack programs, male performance, probiotics, fish oil, and more. Our premium GNC brand products go through up to 150 quality checks and are the highest quality wellness solutions and supplements in the industry. But hurry, this buy one, get one half off deal is only available for a limited time. GNC, live well.
Oye, amigo, it is the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
Home run calls, they're back in play for me today. I miss doing it when I don't get to do it. What I've been toying with is, that ball is well hit to right center field, and like Ben Affleck's depressing directorial debut, that one is gone, baby, gone.
The Dan Le Batard Show, weekdays at 10 a.m. on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Libations Friday. Brought to you by Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. Corner Pocket Bar and Grill on Appalachie Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. I always crack up when you go through and look at this time of year is the time that you get groomed with article after article regarding the draft. But they do the thing where we reminisce the best and worst selections of a given year. And they also do articles like this latest one, which is which recent NFL draft year provided the most value. Seth Walder wrote it for ESPN Analytics. And, I'm not going to dive deep in this, but they go through and they talk about these the different players. And he noted that, by the way, Tom, number 7 on this list was 2015. And the best value pick that year went to the Minnesota Vikings with Stephon Diggs at pick number 146. Mm-hmm. But he wrote something I found interesting, and this seems to be still in debate for some reason in Tampa, although it is an important year for him, admittedly. He writes, there were stars in this first round for sure. Jameis Winston and Marcus Mariota, despite their faults, have certainly outperformed the respective top draft slots. Well, yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I think they have.
That sounds about right.
I don't think there's any argument that can be had there. But yet, if you posit that to some NFL fan at a bar somewhere and ask him how they think either of those two guys have played, I think the answer, A, will be that Mariota's outplayed Winston, which is not true, and B, that neither seem to be on the track towards stardom. And I think you can make an argument, although I clearly favor one over the other, that they're both on track to be very, very good starters in this league. Here's why I say that. 2 years ago, Mariota had a great year. He was not very good last year. But 2 years ago, he was very good. So we'll see. I said you could make an argument. I don't believe he's going to be a star. And it's not even about want to or bias or anything. I just don't think that he is. But Jameis is on that path. He's got to clean some things up. And if you were going to be positive for both, you'd say they could both be on that path. They got to clean some things up. They've got some warts to their game, but there's a lot more good than bad, etc. And you've got a guy evaluating the drafts year by year by year. I can go through these other drafts, 2014, 13, 2012, 11, 10, all the best picks in that. Jimmy Graham in 2010 was picked 95th overall. And you go through these things. But I just like that it's a stated fact that those two gentlemen are well above and beyond the expectation at their pick slot, which Jameis went number 1.
Right. Yeah, no, what he's doing is he's already a league above average quarterback with flashes, real-life flashes in games that count, where you go, well, who stops that?
If he's going to do that.
Right. Think about it. The losses back-to-back last year to the Falcons on Monday night and then the following Sunday up at Carolina. He outplayed 2 former league MVPs, both those games, and it wasn't really close.
No, he was much better than both.
Right. So if that's going to be you, well, I mean, we can go a lot of places with something like that.
It's just about ball security in the pocket. It really is. If he stops turning the ball over via the fumble, it's not even the interceptions because his accuracy is there. All that is there. It's holding on to the ball when he gets tackled. I don't know what's going on with that. But beyond that, it's there. I mean, he played hurt last year, so you got to kind of look at that skewed a little bit. But he played well when he was healthy last year, when he was finally healthy. So where I think he's headed. But imagine if he had a run game. But I just think it's interesting that you have some analysts out here who don't have a dog in the hunt, and they're saying, well, those two guys were really good picks.
Again, it just makes me question whether or not these people are actually watching the games. It's a fundamental question, and I understand there's a lot of teams, there's a lot of games, and you want to focus on the ones that are going to make the playoffs. So do you spend time watching the Bucs? Well, maybe you don't. But I do have a hard time with it, and I don't think it's Florida State colored glasses saying that if you present me with what the film has shown over the course of his career, and you've watched every throw, which we have, if you watch every one of his throws, it's clear as day. You cannot come to the other conclusion if you watch every one of his throws.
Well, there's no player at that position in the league that is a starter that garners more controversial and hot takes than him. Because I think to your point about whether or not people are watching the games, I think it's a valid one for 2 reasons. I think, okay, so let's remove Bucs fans from the equation just because we're going to see the games.
Yep.
So it's all the other people that weigh in that aren't watching every snap of every game. And you know what they're looking at more than almost anything else? Fantasy football. They're looking, and I see this a lot with opinions of players and their relative worth to their franchise and how well they have or have not played for their respective teams. People, we are in an era where people will reference their statistics based on where they rank in the fantasy rankings at the position. And we know it's very different, right? We know, now sometimes they're one and the same, but we know that guys can have far more value to their teams than they do a fantasy owner. They can do things that don't show up in that scoring system that win football games for their team.
Deshaun Watson was a fantasy football darling before he got hurt because he put up 400 yards and throw. You know what I mean?
But he was also winning games for his team.
Well, he won a couple of them. He's hitting 400 because he's throwing up 250 in garbage time in the second half.
Right. But he's on the right path. We'll wait and see. I'd like to see him have a full year of health and teams adjusting and everything else. And ideally, what you want to do before you do any of the judgments on these quarterbacks, and I was guilty of this, and I turned out to be wrong on this, at least for now. We'll see. And it's an extreme case because you have a unique situation. But Jared Goff, for example, I cast to the Wolves and said it's over after one season. But then, of course, last year he was very good. Now he's on a loaded team, and he had a coach calling plays in his ear, which he admitted to, and the coach talked about at the line of scrimmage because they played fast enough for him to be able to do that. And he's got a great young coach who's capable of doing that. We'll see. At some point, is he able to kind of weave that into what he has as a tacit understanding of the position and being able to go on and do that without the help of a guy in his ear? And really, what do you do with that, right? That's a very modern thing. Didn't exist when Terry Bradshaw was learning how to play the position, or Roger Staubach or anybody else. They didn't have the things in the ears to tell them, okay, they're in single high, we're doing this.
Right.
So
yeah, is he just basically like a parasite in Goff's body, and he's able to control all of his movements?
The thing is, you have to have the ability to make the throws, and that he does.
Yes, he does. Well, that's why he was the product that he was. Well, and that's the thing, too, about the combine in general, about speed, strength, arm strength of your quarterback, whatever it is. NFL coaches believe that if you give them that talent, they'll be able to give you a product. If it's raw, it doesn't matter. As long as he has the tools, I'll handle the rest. That's what Goff had. That's why he went number 1 overall.
I love the hits and misses, though. It is a fun exercise to go through. 2008, by the way, best value was Carl Nix, the offensive lineman for the Saints, went pick 164, by the way. And you know who went pick 58 and was the worst value in the draft? Yeah, that would be Dexter Jackson for the Bucks at wide receiver. Good old Dexter Jackson.
The Bucks? Wait, what year was this? Sorry?
2008.
Oh, this is the other Dexter Jackson.
Yeah, that Dexter Jackson. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Well, Carl was very old when he came to Tampa. I didn't know just how old before we gave him MRSA and nearly killed him.
Yeah. I forgot about the fact that we gave him MRSA and that we were sued by numerous people.
They had to seal off the locker room, the whole 9.
Didn't we ruin a kicker or a punter's career?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. I forget which one. Tynes, maybe? I don't know.
I think you're right. That's a hell of a thing to go into an organization and have your career ruined because the locker room is nasty.
Like so nasty that you have a life-threatening, illness.
Now, I know they've always been worried about that in any setting, professional athletes and all that, but I can't recall any other franchise getting sued by players whose career were ruined because of MRSA.
All right. We got Carl Nix, one of the great guards in the NFL.
Yeah.
And he might die.
And he could die thanks to us in our nasty-ass locker room. Boy, that's something. Jeff Cameron Show, 97 Died, ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further. The latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Smoother, bolder, sharper, comfier, smarter, fiercer, tougher, stronger, longer, greater, prouder. Gravely Zero-Turn Mowers.
Just caught that left-hand side and fell in. It's a 2-putt birdie for Jordan Spieth. Rough day so far today, but he gets to 4 under par for the week, and he is very much a part of this.
Brian Katrick, the call at 15. Spieth followed with a par at 16, so the 2015 Masters champion is 1 back of the leaders, Patrick Reed and Mark Leishman. Tiger Woods at +4, 9 off the pace. You're listening to exclusive coverage of the 2018 Masters on Westwood One.
Please give it up for the termite.
So I was shedding my exoskeleton the other day, realized the blinds were open. That's embarrassing. Anyone here tonight from the Calotermidae species? No? No? That's too bad, because all of my next jokes are drywood related.
Termites aren't funny. $5 billion of damage each year is nothing to laugh at. Visit Orkin.com to schedule an inspection and get 15% off.
Only 24 years old, Jordan Spieth is already a Masters legend. In 2015, he completed the tournament's first wire-to-wire victory in nearly 40 years, tying the record for lowest 72-hole score in Masters history. And now he pursues excellence at Augusta once again. Rolex is and always will be a part of golf and is proud to celebrate the Masters' greatest moments. It doesn't just tell time, it tells history.
Let's check the leaderboard, brought to you by Orkin. Orkin has pest control down to a science. Visit Orkin.com. Mark Leishman and Patrick Reed both started the day with 3 birdies in a row. They're at 5 under, a shot up on Rory McIlroy and Jordan Spieth. McIlroy is 1 under today as he plays hole number 18. Vijay Singh won the Masters 18 years ago. He is at 3 under along with Zach Johnson and Henrik Stenson. Tiger Woods shaky today, a double bogey at number 5. He's at 4 over. The projected cut right now at +5. Phil Mickelson is right on the line at +5 after shooting a 7 over 79. Phil had a triple bogey at 9 and a double bogey at 12. From Augusta, I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
Hi, honey. How was your day?
It was fine. Pretty uneventful. How about you?
Well, I called the auditors this afternoon and made an appointment for one to come out to the house.
Wait, what? Have you lost your mind? Auditors? Why would you call them? Now we have to find our tax returns, paycheck stubs, and financial records, not to mention all those forms. Good grief.
Relax, honey. It's not that kind of auditor.
It's not?
No. I called the City of Tallahassee Utilities and scheduled a free energy audit.
Energy audit?
Right. It's when an energy auditor from our own utilities comes out to the house, examines the structure, and checks our energy and water systems, and then recommends changes we might make to save energy, water, and money.
And you said it's free?
Absolutely. It's free from the City of Tallahassee Utilities, our own utilities.
Sounds good to me. Let's save some money.
If you're a City of Tallahassee residential, electric, and natural gas customer, you can schedule a free energy audit. Call 891-4YOU. That's 891-4968. And schedule your free energy audit at a time most convenient for you. A message from the City of Tallahassee Utilities, your own utilities.
Jumpstart the new you with Muscle Maker Grill. Muscle Maker Grill's diverse menu is created for everyone from fitness enthusiasts to those just trying to eat better. Sign up now for the Muscle Maker Grill meal plan. Whether you're bulking up, slimming down, or saving time, we've got the right option for you. The best part? You can customize the amount of daily meals and the length of your plan for total control of your health. From low carb to high protein, low fat to gluten free, we have the meal choices that will fit perfectly to your lifestyle and needs. To learn more, visit us at 2020 West Pensacola Street or on the web at musclemakergrill.com. Muscle Maker Grill, providing great food with your health in mind.
Are you wanting to raise some extra cash fast? Think Thrifty Nickel. Need to clean out that garage full of stuff you never use? Think Thrifty Nickel. Need a newer car or truck and don't want to break the bank? Think Thrifty Nickel. Buying or selling, your best bet is Thrifty Nickel. All ads appear in print and online for maximum results. Place your ad today and ask for their guaranteed results special. Call 385-0505. Get your free copy of American Classifieds, available at hundreds of locations throughout the greater Tallahassee area.
This is the Jeff Cameron Show. Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
See Gabe Kapler get booed in the home opener?
Did they throw batteries at him?
They tried to sneak him out there quick, too. Booed his ass. There've been 5 games. Is that right? I think they're 1-4. They won the game.
There's already been a couple of moments. You talked about one earlier this year, but double switches and such where you're going, well, why would you?
No, a disastrous first week, without question. A disastrous first week for a new manager. And he's young and he's brash. He's good looking and smart, and he carries himself with confidence. And then he does all of those things so reporters are ready to attack, and certainly fans are. And, you know, it's Philadelphia, so they're not going to be nice. I mean, it happens. Hell, Charlie Manuel got booed a lot too, and then they went on the most successful run in Philly's history. But the thing of it is,
he didn't look the part. If you're talking about how you look,
I'm just saying, you know, you have so much to do yet in this season. So 1-4, almost 98% of your games still remain. We'll see what happens. But the thing of it is, I saw this quote in a John Heyman article that I thought, well, good Lord. It's a player, an anonymous player saying, quote, "We'll be okay. We just need the manager to get out of the way." That would tell me a lot about not just the mistakes made, like having a kid come in who hadn't thrown a single warm-up pitch. That's a problem. That's summoning somebody who hadn't warmed up is an issue, and really kind of really stunning in a way, because it's the most basic of things for a manager to have a handle on.
Yeah.
We got to get somebody up. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they so on Wednesday, I think it was, that's when they did a Facebook broadcast. They're going to do that now this year. There are some games that are on Facebook and they're free. And that was our game. And it was an afternoon game, and they had a situation where they pinch hit for a reliever who was going well rather than double switching before the reliever came in. And the guys were all just kind of stunned, thinking, well, like John Kruk was on that broadcast. He goes, well, why wouldn't you double switch in case he does well and maybe you want to use him a second inning?
Right.
At least give yourself the option. This seems crazy. Then the night before, I'm watching on SNY, and they have the shift on, but they don't have a double play installed for how to manage that situation. So the shortstop who's playing on the other side of second base ranges to his left, Crawford I think it is, makes a play, and there's nobody to throw to at second base. And those three, you know how they are with baseball, they were just livid, thinking, oh, you could have gotten out of this inning, and we end up scoring a run in the inning. And it makes a huge difference in the course of the game. It's just
the mistakes are legit.
If you don't know enough to know that, I don't think that means that you're disqualified from the job, but you should know enough to get a bench coach that tells you, hey, man,
we need to do this right.
Hey, man.
I will say this. So he was asked about it, and they won that game easily, 5-0. I think the Marlins had 4 hits maybe. They dominated the home opener, so that's good. And they got off to a rocky start, and a lot of those questions have been asked of him, chronicled. 4 or 5 moves that had everybody raising an eyebrow, to say the least. Some of them were outright unassailable, meaning there was nothing you could say to retort to the mistake. There's no getting around it. Some of them could be new age thinking.
Right.
All right. To that, he said this about the fans of Philly who booed him in the home opener 5 games into his career.
His fans.
Quote, I'm a fighter, and I think the fans in Philadelphia are fighters too. If the fans are upset with me, that's okay. It's going to get better. In the end, Philly fans are going to respond to me. I'm a battler like they are. Early on, it's not been easy, but I don't want or expect it to be easy, because that's going to make it that much sweeter when we have our success.
When I have my success,
well,
and you have to bow to me.
Nicely done with our and we.
Okay.
We'll be watching this one. Hour number 2 forthcoming. Hang in.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag Sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag Savings.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
This spring, pour on the color in your landscape. It's easy with your choice of EarthGrow or Vigoro colored mulch from the Home Depot. Spring Black Friday price now at 5 bags for just $10. Mulch that protects your plants by retaining moisture in beautiful shades of red, brown, or black, maintained for up to 12 months. So a colorful garden is in the bag. EarthGrow and Vigoro mulch, 5 bags, $10. Now at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Color selection may vary by store. Limit 60 bags per customer. Offer valid until April 11th.
Commercial lawnmowers don't have odometers, but if they did, you might be surprised to see you could be mowing thousands of miles a year. That's why Gravely zero-turn mowers are built for the long haul. So when you're mowing the equivalent of Miami through Kentucky bluegrass country, all the way to Seattle, and back again every year, you can count on your Gravely zero-turn mower to get the job done, mile after mile. Gravely, built to mow the distance.
Over 150 new zero turns in stock. Visit TNTSupercenter.com to view inventory and pricing. In Thomasville, Georgia.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to give you special savings on the toughest tractors and utility vehicles on earth during the Mahindra Red Tag Sale. Hurry in for up to $7,900 in cash back and red tag savings. Only from Mahindra.
Up to $7,900 in cash back savings. Visit TNTSupercenter.com to view selection.
Offer with approved credit. See dealer for details. Program restrictions may apply.
In Thomasville, Georgia.
Looking for today's hottest wellness trends? Visit GNC, where you'll get them for less thanks to our buy one, get one half off deal. Save on black seed oil, turmeric, and milk thistle. Or mix and match Vitapack programs, male performance, probiotics, fish oil, and more. Our premium GNC brand products go through up to 150 quality checks and are the highest quality wellness solutions and supplements in the industry. But hurry, this buy one, get one half off deal is only available for a limited time. GNC, live well.
Getting your flu shot at Walgreens is easier than ever. Just walk right in, and there's no cost to you with a $0 copay with most insurance. Plus, when you get a flu shot, you help provide a life-saving vaccine to a child in need through the UN Foundation. Swing by your local Walgreens anytime to get a flu shot and help make a difference. Get a shot, give a shot. It's that easy. Walgreens, at the corner of happy and healthy.
Through August 31st, 2018, for every immunization given, Walgreens will donate 22 cents up to $2 million. Vaccine restrictions apply. Talk to your pharmacist to learn more.
See, very intrigued by the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
If you think that us making fun of Gronk is disrespectful, just know that we are worshipers at this particular church.
So we love the man. I mean.
We do love the man. Let's conclude this service, please, Guillermo, please, with a reading of Gronk's prayer.
Everybody please bow your head and hold hands. Our Gronk, who scores in sevens, hallowed be thy brain, thy kingdom dumb, thy will mix rum, on turf as it is in heaven. Feed us this day our daily meat spread, and don't forgive us our trespasses, as we don't forgive those who double cover against us. Lead us directly and repeatedly into temptation, but deliver that sexy body from evil. For spikes in the end zone, with great power, bring you glory forever. Amen.
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 The Dan Le Batard Show, weekdays at 10 a.m. on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Driving every day from the AmeriGas studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is 97.9 ESPN Radio. WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
Now, it's time for your Atlanta Braves update.
Fresh off a night off following a series win against the Washington Nationals, the Braves now embark on their first road trip of the 2018 season, starting later on this afternoon in the Mile High City. The Braves, victorious in Wednesday's rubber match against the Nationals and Max Scherzer at SunTrust Park, take to the road for a three-city trip that also features stops in the nation's capital and Windy City. This afternoon, Brandon McCarthy gets his second start of the young season, while the Rockies will counter with fellow right-hander German Marquez. McCarthy coming off a win against the Phillies on Saturday, where he allowed 2 earned runs over 5 1/3 innings in his Braves debut. Meanwhile, Marquez took a no decision in his season debut against the D-backs, allowing just 1 unearned run over 5 innings of work with 4 walks and 4 punch-outs. The Braves will enter this afternoon's series opener with 48 runs scored through the first 6 games of the season. That's the most in all of Major League Baseball. Additionally, the Braves bullpen has held opponents to a 172 average, posting a 161 ERA through the first homestand. With the Braves in Denver, I'm Kevin McAlpin for the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
Live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Libations Friday, brought to you by Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. Corner Pocket Bar and Grill on Appalachia Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Hour number 2, Livations Friday edition of the Jeff Cameron Show. Loosey-goosey. Ooh. Hope you're doing well. I'm Jeff. That's Tom. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming. Free always. Don't miss anything. Sometimes you do, and if you do, all 3 hours get posted both to iTunes and in our own audio vault upon the conclusion of the show. You can email us if you like. It's jcs at 979ESPNradio.com. Twitter, it's at JCameron Show. It's also at 979ESPN Radio, where you can periscope the program on YouTube, ESPN Tallahassee. Yeah, there you go. All right. That's all the necessary information for today, friends. We'll take it on down the road.
You enjoy your Masters weekend.
That's right. Good stuff right there. Hey, so Florida State's on the road. Hopefully they'll take that series against Georgia Tech. Believe it or not, we are well into the season. I mean, we are well into the season. And as has been the case, it's weird because I don't remember another. Well, you know what it is, Tom? It's that everything is culminating, and there are a lot of things of interest for us, both personally and I think regionally, going on besides Florida State baseball that doesn't typically happen. So, you know, a couple of years ago, the Lightning
last year the Lightning finished a point out of the playoffs.
Yeah, the Lightning weren't even destined for any sort of greatness, so you couldn't be bogged down by them.
Well, and the Noles had captured our attention for the wrong reasons last year.
They weren't playing well at all.
17 and 16
or whatever they were. Yeah, they weren't playing well. The basketball team had gone, but they only made it to the second round, and I say only, but they got knocked out earlier than they did certainly this year. And so you didn't have this ultra focus on one particular, baseball. Well, you didn't have this focus problem that we have right now because there are a lot of things happening. The basketball team made the Elite Eight. Women's team made it again like they usually do. I know they lost in the second round, but they made it again. You have the start of Florida State baseball. You have the Lightning trying to chase down the Stanley Cup. They're certainly in the conversation. And then you have also the Masters going on right now this week, and you just have a lot going on.
Yeah, well, and even for hockey, and I'll keep it brief, I promise.
Yeah, very brief.
There's a race for a division. Sometimes it's just about are you in and you're good, but if there's a race and it takes you to game 82, well, then you're paying attention more than you normally would. I'd shut down if people were resting and stuff. I'll watch the games later. No big deal. I'll watch some Florida State baseball. But if it matters greatly about division title and better seeding in the playoffs, well, you have to watch those things.
Well, and I'm also forgetting about the fact that there is a keen interest in what's going on with Florida State football as we move ever closer to the spring game.
Didn't they have a bad year or something over there?
They did. They had a terrible year. All the more reason we are now much more interested in what happens here. And this is a weekend in which there will be a ton of spring games and something to discuss. By the way, unfortunately, I was not on the air when it happened. You and I haven't discussed the fact that Marvin Wilson has a torn MCL and the devastation that I felt surrounding that news on a Wednesday when Coach Taggart announced it. And the part that made me so sad was the fact that he said, look, he was doing awesome, quote unquote. Continuing Willie's quote there was, great kid, going to be a great leader for our football team, was working his tail off, lost some weight, was running around really well. Hated for him, but if there's anybody to bounce back from it, it'll be Marvin, and luckily he won't miss the season, so that is great news for us. Well, yes, it is, but, man, I still hold my breath till he comes back in form. Damn it, man.
Maybe the running game will look a little bit better in the spring game now that Marvin's not going to be there lining up across from the offensive line. But, no, there's no doubt that he was going to be one of the storylines because right off the bat, he was the one who said he has a renewed interest in the game itself. He loves football again. And you go back to what Derwin James said when he was asked about being a physical freak. Last year, remember this in camp, he said, well, Marvin Wilson, that's the freak. So if you have this guy who can take the combine by storm and have everybody's jaws on the floor by the end of it.
Referring to somebody else as a freak.
Who's a defensive interior. You know what I mean? It's not like he's some sort of linebacker or wide receiver or tight end. He's somebody that you associate with a guy who plugs a gap, and the fatter the better. But here's Derwin telling you, no, watch what this kid can do. I would think, hopefully, at least that comment means that his healing is also the same way that some of those physical freaks are. He can heal quicker, and he'll be ready to go come fall camp.
By the way, how would you like to be an Auburn fan who had to see Jarrett Stidham go out and won't participate in Auburn's spring game in need of a shoulder surgery? That is troubling to say the least. They've had 2 receivers go down as well. This has not been a good spring for Auburn. And this is a team that has national championship aspirations. So you've seen some injuries, and that's why when you're heading into camp, all you can do is hold your breath and hope like hell that everybody gets out of there okay. And that's almost more than anything else. It's all fun when you're implementing something new and you want to see how that works and what are we going to look like come the fall. But in truth, you just hope to get the hell out of spring feeling good about some players, some progress made, and the relative health of your football team. That's where you want to be.
Yeah, you want to see the people know where to be on the field. For me, it's about procedure stuff as much as anything else. Are we comfortable with the pace we're running? Do we know where to be? Do the coaches have to run off the sidelines and direct people to run to the other side of the formation? Things like that. Is it sinking in on offense? The funny thing about Auburn, though, you mentioned them. That's the worst possible circumstance for them to contend last year and then not get the job done because they did just good enough that they had to re-sign Gus when it seemed like everybody wanted to move on from that era.
Well, he wanted to go to maybe,
Arkansas.
But here's what I'll say about that.
Maybe another coach, I don't know, who worked around here may have had an eye towards Auburn.
Shedrick Jackson and Will Hastings both went down for Auburn, 2 talented wide receivers, and so you lose your quarterback and 2 starting receivers. Okay. Here's the thing I'll say. I feel a little bad for Auburn, not because of these injuries. But, sweet Jesus, that had to have been a tough offseason. You beat the 2 teams that played for the national championship. Has that ever happened? That in the same year you beat the 2 teams that played for the national title?
I don't know. It's possible before, the days of the playoff.
That's just crazy. We had 2 one-loss teams play in the national championship game multiple times, but was there ever a time when somebody was responsible for both of those
That's
teams'
what I'm
losses?
saying. Or Bowl Alliance days where tie-ins are such that you probably didn't play both teams that made it into whatever ties they had. Yeah.
And let's not forget, it's not just that they beat both those teams that played for the national title. It's also that they're on the verge of going up 2 scores in the rematch against Georgia when they turn the football over and change the entire flow of the game, and Georgia goes on to win comfortably. But I'm not so sure if they don't get up by a couple of scores, they don't go on to win again. So it's just they had to – if you're an Auburn fan, and I know this isn't Auburn talk, but I'm just thinking aloud here about as we go into spring, a lot of spring games this weekend, the teams that have those national championship aspirations that I was alluding to, they'd be one. And they had already had a tough offseason because they had to sit around and watch 2 teams play for it all that they beat.
Well, and even still, though, buddy, they gave 100% effort, and they cared to play UCF. They did, which is why UCF can claim everything he claims. There's no doubt in my mind that Auburn was there to win that game, and they cared just like they were playing Alabama.
I care about the health, obviously, of the team more than anything else, really. I know that Willie has chosen in this camp to be pretty physical, to allow for those Oklahoma drills. We've seen those films. We've watched the hitting take place there. And it is still football. You still have to play the game. And it's not in excess of anything. It's not us taking a step back going, well, a little bit too much hitting going on here. And I'm always torn on that anyhow. I know the modern approach is certainly to back off taking players to the ground. The idea that, thud is kind of what carries the day. But, it is football, and I think you can't get better at tackling without tackling.
Well, apparently, though, if you're in 7-7 or 11-on-11 drills, he's not advocating for full contact.
No, he's
scrimmages, yes, but
yeah. Well, in a scrimmage, you should.
But daily drills, no. But then there are specific drills where you can.
Yeah,
like the Oklahoma drills.
Absolutely,
right.
No, and that's just again, not a lot of coaches, not all coaches, I should say, go for that. They remove that level of. Not just contact, but we're talking about the aspect of the game that is most violent, right? Coming up, filling in a hole, tackling somebody in a drill like that is as physical as it can get at practice. There's not too much else you could do that would be more physical than that. And so he hasn't removed that from the equation. That's interesting.
Well, now that Marvin is out, and that's obviously been a talking point this week, does that change anything about what you want to see on defense? Because he was somebody that we had circled.
Well, he's going to play.
Was one, Marvin was one. Yeah, but all I'm saying, I'm sorry, is for the
spring game. Yeah.
Specifically the spring game. You have a checklist of things. Is there anything on the defense you want to see? Or is it all, again, going to be about the offense and the changes?
I want to see our linebackers. I have serious questions about what we're going to be at linebacker. If they're an area of concern, I like our secondary a lot. The talent is unquestioned. You saw sparks from a year ago. There are guys that are unproven but immensely talented. You mentioned Jaden Woodby a moment ago. He's certainly one of them, but they're loaded there. They're fine. And I like our starting unit on the defensive line. I even like our defensive ends, as unproven as they are to some extent, or at least on one side. Linebackers, where are we at there? I last year that was infinitely frustrating and had been a point of contention for me with the old staff for a while.
Yeah, that was 2 or 3 years in the making. Really after 2013. The 2014 season, you kind of got by, and you're winning, so you're not terribly angry, but you're looking at that group and you're saying, oh, that is our weak point.
Well, I remember thinking, why can't you get a crop of linebackers around here that we can trust, that are violent, that are guys that turn your head around every now and again, and that you celebrate, because that's a position of violence, and it's tough to find guys that play it with the kind of enthusiasm and nastiness requisite of the position. But as we go into camp, wouldn't you have said, whether it's Dontavius Jackson, who by now has to be a guy, right? Doesn't he have to be great? But he's a junior.
Well, another player, again, that said has recommitted to the game. It's a little bit more exciting at practice, and it seems like the change was good for him, at least when you're talking about morale. He might be feeling a little bit better about himself and what he's doing.
Yeah, I'm excited for Amari Gaynor. I'm excited for Leonard Warner. I'm excited, Emmett Rice, you name it, whatever it's going to be.
DeCallum Brooks, I brought him up earlier this week.
DeCallum Brooks is right, another guy. So Adonis Thomas, there are plenty of guys. We just haven't been real good at that position. Yeah, you mentioned 2013 where there were guys flying around, and obviously highlighted by Telvin and the kind of player that he was, but yeah, so that's the area of interest for me.
Well, in those years, too, what's crazy, now that the eras are so separate already, it's kind of funny. But you felt like you were waiting for Matthew Thomas, but then also frustrated. Why do we have to tie our successes at this position group to one player?
One player who you're not sure is going to be eligible.
For any number of reasons, really.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part. And Jimbo fought like hell to make sure that he was around.
Yes, he did, because
But why is it that Matthew Thomas is our savior at this position group? Are we not Florida State? Do we not have kids that want to come here?
And I get that when you're sour and you're a little frustrated and angry at any particular coach or end of an era with somebody, you can find ways to criticize almost everything. But I think that was, for even the most ardent of supporters, a legitimate concern. Why are we struggling to find any consistency or depth of talent at the linebacker position? Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Why does Mahindra have not?
It gives me the ability to do what I want to do when I want to do it.
I decided on Mahindra just because of the sheer strength, the size, the ease of the workability, and it was more of a comfortable machine than the others.
You could lift just about anything with that thing. It has never let me down.
And now get the industry's best 7-year limited powertrain warranty on select models.
TNT. Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this. It's right here, guys. We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
But his determination never wavered. With 7 birdies over the final 10 holes, he secured one of the most improbable victories in Augusta's history. Rolex is and always will be a part of golf and is proud to celebrate the Masters' greatest moments. It doesn't just tell time, it tells history.
Let's check the leaderboard, brought to you by 18 Birdies. Download the 18 Birdies app and join the fastest growing, most connected golf community. Patrick Reed tied for second at the last major, the 2017 PGA Championship in Charlotte, while Reed is all alone in first here at the Masters as the second round continues. Reed opening his second round with 3 straight birdies. He is now through 7 today, 6 under for the tournament, a shot ahead of Australian Mark Leishman. Leishman making the turn at 3 under par for his round. Rory McIlroy, Jordan Spieth, and Charlie Hoffman all at 4 under, 2 shots back. McIlroy shoots a 1 under 71. Spieth a 2 over 74, but check out this split. Spieth 4 over on the first 9, 2 under on the second 9 as he was able to rescue the round. Henrik Stenson 3 under par. He's 3 shots back. From Augusta, I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
Do you want to work with an agent that has buyers lined up and creates demand for your home? Well, Joe Manassa is the real estate agent for you. Joe guarantees to sell your home at a price and deadline that you agree to, or he'll have it bought for cash. Call Joe to find out more about this phenomenal program. Not only that, working with Joe doesn't obligate you to anything. If he isn't doing his job, he'll let you out of your contract free and clear. But don't worry, that never happens because Joe sells homes quickly and for top dollar. If you're wanting to sell but looking around your neighborhood and seeing houses on the market for weeks, even months, don't let that stop you. Do what Alex and Tabitha did. Call Joe Manassa Real Estate. The couple had their hearts set on moving to Salt Lake City, but they were worried about the time it would take to sell their house in Tallahassee. They listed with a Manassa team who sat with them and gave them suggestions for selling fast and for top dollar. The result? Thanks to the company's marketing plan, comprehensive as it is, Alex and Tabitha had multiple full-price, no concession offers on day one. Let that be your story. Call the only real estate agent I would call if I needed to sell my house. That's Joe Manassa of Joe Manassa Real Estate. Call Joe Manassa today at 850-888-0888. That's 850-888-0888. Or online at manassa.com. That's MANAUSA.com. And start packing.
Want better gas mileage and a longer-lasting engine? Change your oil every 3 months or 3,000 miles, whichever comes first. You know that sticker on your windshield? Don't look at it now. Wait until the next red light. Okay, check the number on your sticker. Then check your odometer. Is it time? There are 19 Tallahassee area Super Lube locations, which means there's one close to you right now. No appointments, and you're in and out in no time. You could do this today. Super Lube, for better gas mileage and a longer-lasting engine.
How I love to Super Lube my car. Yes, sir.
Woohoo! Banditos!
Huh? Where?
Banditos Burritos, baby.
What'll give up first? Your tired, calloused hands? Your willpower to keep pushing? Your clothing, fighting the elements? Nah, not with Carhartt. Everything you need is already built in. We just make your job a bit easier. I guess you could say we were born into this job. Boot Barn. Carrying Carhartt, made since 1889. Boot Barn work. What's stopping you?
Come watch professional tennis in your own backyard. The 19th annual Tallahassee Tennis Challenger, April 21st through the 28th at Forest Meadows Tennis Center. Rising stars and tour veterans battle for ATP points and a wild card draw into the French Open. Fun for the whole family. Kids 10 and under, admitted free. For more information, go to TallahasseeChallenger.com.
You're listening to The Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
See, there's an article today about what you can get. I've never seen an event that so frequently has people talking about the concessions as the Masters. Every year. Now that I've been, I get it. Every event should be run the way the Masters is run. But they have a gazillion dollars to spend. And thus they can do the best. And they can seek out the best and ask advice. They sought out the best from Disney World and said, how do we get en masse people in and out of this parking lot? In and out of the concessions area, in and out of the bathroom. Tom, they have people stationed in the bathroom when you go.
With tasers.
No.
Move along.
They have a guy that is there as you go. You take you right into the doorway, right? So you come down this hall that's kind of blocked out because they don't want you seeing the bathrooms, right? So they have this fence, and you walk along that, and then you kind of take a right. As you take a right, there's a guy welcoming you to the bathroom, and he then tells you
an experience unlike any other.
He then tells you that you need to go to the far end because they have so many stalls, and people just stop at the first one. But they want you to get in and get out of there. So they're like, there's open stalls. There's open stalls all the way, sir. Keep walking. I mean, they are on it. Like, if you stop early, they get pissed. All the way to the end. There are plenty of stalls down there. All the way to the end, guys. Take it to the last open stall. I mean, there's somebody saying it all the time as you go in. So at first I was like, that's a little pushy. Maybe I want to pee here. But no, they want you to go to the end. And the thing of it is, I found that I was thankful that I took the last stall. It made the process that much quicker. I was in and out.
Is there a door on the other side of the Louvre? You just exit that way?
They take you right over to the sink, on which there's tons of them lined to the wall. And let's go. Get to the last sink, sir. Last sink. Oh yeah. No, they're not having it. It's here we go.
Sir,
let's go.
Sir.
Yeah.
I'm moving, okay?
Yeah. No, they're good at it. But also the concessions, what they do, because you can now get craft beer there, just as you can get your regular. It used to be you couldn't. Now you get craft beers. They've come along to that. And those are more expensive. I didn't do it. I wanted to be more of a traditionalist. I went with the American domestic.
They have one in particular, yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And they said, well, when you walk to get in the line, they have like 5 of them out there. You just grab the cups and go. You got the one area you grab the cups, then you go over there and you pay, and they aren't fooling around on that pay site. I got to give them credit. It's a horseshoe, and there's a register all the way around the horseshoe. And people are like, I'm open, come see me. And they get you in and out of there. There's none of that waiting around for receipts nonsense. So they slide that card, and they're like, have a good one. Crumble it up, let's go. Not fooling around.
Well, yeah, they clearly have consulted with Disney. Having not been to the Masters, I can't speak to that. But if you ever go to Magic Kingdom, let's say, because you have little kids with you, and you go to their commissaries, like Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe right across from the race cars.
Of course.
The way they get you in and out of there is incredible. The lines, the order that you think about, all of the orders that they process in 1 hour. People speak in 10 different languages. It doesn't matter. They'll get you in, they'll get you out, and it'll take fewer than 5 minutes to get your food.
Speaking of food, egg salad, $1.50. Pimento cheese, $1.50. I had one of each. Well, I had 2 of each. They were very, very good.
Okay, still waiting for a good option.
Barbecue sandwich, $3.
Okay.
Master's Club sandwich, $2.50. Grilled chicken wrap. I had one of those.
Ooh.
It was very tasty. $3.
Okay.
Grilled chicken wrap. Classic chicken sandwich, $3.
All right.
Ham and cheese on rye, $2.50. Turkey and cheese on wheat, $2.50.
It's a nice touch with the rye bread 2 choices ago.
Breakfast, if you get there early enough before 10, served only $2.10, but you can get breakfast. They have a fresh brewed Master's Blend coffee for $1. That'll work.
Did you have it?
Yes. They have sausage biscuit for $1.50.
Hang on, you're a coffee snob. Was it good?
It's okay. It's all right.
All right. Yeah, you skirted over that.
It's okay. What
was the worst part about the Masters? The coffee.
The coffee's pretty average. You're not blown away. I'm not like, excuse me. No, I didn't do that. It
was a very Shell Houston Open coffee.
It was it was a run-of-the-mill coffee. It'll get you by if you're a little tired, though.
It's the Greater Hartford.
Yeah. Sausage biscuit, $1.50. Chicken biscuit, $1.50. Blueberry muffin, $1.50. Surprised the muffin was equivalent to the chicken biscuit in cost. It's a tasty blueberry muffin. A fresh mixed fruit bowl is $2. That's not bad. That's not bad.
Okay.
And you get soft drinks. I don't drink soft drinks, but it's $2 if you wanted one. Bottled water is only $2. $2 for bottled water.
Usually they'll get you with the bottled water.
It's just water. It's probably out of a spigot in the back. Domestic beer, as I said, import beer. American craft beer is $5.
That's still
cheap.
Is it 12 or 16 ounces? How big's the pour?
I think it's 12. I think it's a regular beer.
All right.
By the way, the snacks, you get Master's chips, which I did not get, for $1.50. You can get Master's peanuts for $1.50. Crackers for $1. They got your crackers.
They have Master's pretzels because I'm sure they could make the shape of the Augusta logo.
They have Georgia pecan caramel popcorn for $1.50. And they have Georgia peach ice cream sandwiches for $2. That's what you get right there. But I'll tell you what, as you stated, the domestic light beer is the one that you know of. Yes.
Yeah, it's
Starts
the worst
with an
of
M.
the big three.
They're all terrible. We disagree on that one.
We do.
I'm not in love with any of them, but if I have to have one of those, I don't hate the one that you just put down.
Right. No, it's true. If perhaps, let's say we're playing our own round of golf and
maybe
you have to choose
I want to
between
go
the
that
big
route.
three,
Yeah, I don't.
you may choose that one.
But I'm disappointed to have to choose any of them.
Yeah, unless they pay for us to choose one, you know.
And then I not only choose it voluntarily, I celebrate it.
You might put out an Instagram post.
I might do something like that. By the way, the other American craft beer, they call it, I don't know how craft it is either. I raised an eyebrow at that. It's Blue Moon.
What?
It's not a craft beer.
That is not a craft beer.
I was like, man, what do we do? Blue Moon. Whatever, Blue Moon. But you know what I mean.
Want a shock top while you're at it?
Hand me that craft shock top, would you? Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further. Wait, Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Blountstown Highway, 574-4100.
TNT Supercenter is your one-stop shop for the largest inventory of golf carts and accessories, stocking over 150 new and pre-owned carts with prices starting under $2,000. Whether you're looking for a standard or custom golf cart, TNT has the perfect cart for you. TNT carries and services leading brands and the full line of premium Mad Jacks accessories. Stop by or call to find out about our zero-down, low-interest rate financing, free delivery, and rental programs. Visit TNTSupercenter.com.
TNT.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this. It's right here, guys. We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Time when you sign up not doing laundry with Easy Laundry Service from Wash Around the Clock. Whether it's dry cleaning or just plain laundry, Wash Around the Clock's Easy Laundry Service will pick up and deliver at your home or office. So sign up for free today at easylaundry.net, or you can give them a call, 850-597-9007. Again, sign up today at easylaundry.net. Oh, and by the way, I got you. Use promo code JCS20 and save 20%. That's promo code JCS20. You're saving 20% on your first order. That's easylaundry.net from Wash Around the Clock.
What'll give up first? Your tired, calloused hands? Your willpower to keep pushing? Your clothing, fighting the elements? Nah, not with Carhartt. Everything you need is already built in. We just make your job a bit easier. I guess you could say we were born into this job. Boot Barn, carrying Carhartt, made since 1889. Boot Barn work. What's stopping you?
Nestled in Midtown Tallahassee, you'll find a piece of old Ireland. Finnegan's Wake Irish Pub. Locally owned and operated, Finnegan's Wake is the only pub in Tallahassee with an authentic Irish bar. Finnegan's Wake offers the largest selection of Irish whiskey in town and pours more Guinness than any bar or restaurant from Pensacola to Jacksonville. Open daily from 3 p.m. to 2 a.m., Finnegan's offers live music from local and national acts, karaoke, and hospitality nights, and is Tallahassee's premier viewing location for all professional soccer leagues matches. Finnegan's Wake Irish Pub, right off Thomasville Road next to 5th and Thomas. Come join us for a pint, a match, and more stories.
Now, it's time for your Atlanta Braves update.
Fresh off a night off following a series win against the Washington Nationals, the Braves now embark on their first road trip of the 2018 season, starting later on this afternoon in the Mile High City. The Braves, victorious in Wednesday's rubber match against the Nationals and Max Scherzer at SunTrust Park, take to the road for a three-city trip that also features stops in the nation's capital and Windy City. This afternoon, Brandon McCarthy gets his second start of the young season, while the Rockies will counter with fellow right-hander German Marquez. McCarthy coming off a win against the Phillies on Saturday, where he allowed 2 earned runs over 5 1/3 innings in his Braves debut. Meanwhile, Marquez took a no decision in his season debut against the D-backs, allowing just 1 unearned run over 5 innings of work with 4 walks and 4 punch-outs. The Braves will enter this afternoon's series opener with 48 runs scored through the first 6 games of the season. That's the most in all of Major League Baseball. Additionally, the Braves bullpen has held opponents to a 172 average, posting a 161 ERA through the first homestand. With the Braves in Denver, I'm Kevin McAlpin for the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
Live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Libations Friday, brought to you by Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. Corner Pocket Bar and Grill on Appalachia Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
ESPN Radio starting lineup. Salvatore, Luke, Applin, Raleigh, Mendoza, Albert, Durr, Wells, Swanson, Cole Sands on the hill. Wasn't that fun just to do with the music?
Yeah, I thought you wanted the music there. I could kind of tell.
It was ideal. And so Salvatore, Luke, Applin, Raleigh, Mendoza, Albert, Durr, Wells, Swanson. This is a great song to listen to if you're traveling to the beach on a hot summer day with the windows down.
Oh, buddy, you nailed that one.
Yeah. It's awesome. It's the only time I wish I had hair.
What, when you've got a convertible or something like that? Yeah.
So I'm listening to Talking Heads.
Specifically Talking Heads.
Specifically this song, the live version. It's really, really good.
Yeah, I feel like I did see a movie where Charlie Sheen is driving along the shore and this music is playing.
Yeah, he should be.
Yeah. In a Porsche 911.
Or, for me, it's Porsche Cayenne like the Peppa.
We're so close to being done.
like the Peppa.
Get the papers, get the papers.
So, admittedly, I do willfully choose to ignore what I find to be stupid stories that they push down your throat nationally. They'll say, I know how this works. They'll tell you have to talk about this. This is what's trending. And the number one story that's trending is Conor McGregor posting $50,000 bail after being released after an arraignment. What the hell is going on? Can you just tell me so that I don't have to talk about this story?
Yeah.
And he was told that he's no longer going to be the champion. Is that right? And he flipped out and I guess threw stuff at a media day prior to the UFC 223. Is this correct? Do I have it basically right?
Yes, it's actually like what would really happen to a person if they pulled a WWE stunt.
Right.
So there's a bunch of UFC fighters on a bus or something for this press event, and he goes crazy on the bus.
It's at the Barclays Center.
I guess so.
Yes.
I did not know where it was.
Yeah.
But he goes crazy on the bus, and he throws some kind of, I don't know.
Oh, he threw a hand dolly.
Hand dolly, that's what it was.
Yeah, he threw it through the window.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go. So he gets charged with misdemeanors and 1 felony. And, so if you see it on WWE Monday Night Raw, there's no crime because it's scripted. But if you see Conor McGregor do it, well, that's actually real. And even though it seems like a stunt, he's being charged with crimes for doing just what he did.
Well, he threw that, and he threw a chair at a passenger, at a window of a passenger bus. And in addition to that, 2 individuals on the bus sustained injuries. He apparently threw a punch at someone who was part of the security detail. So, yes, this is very WWE, and he did assault somebody and flip out. And anyhow, but that's like, I every time I heard today, when I happened to be in the car listening to sports talk radio, and I try to listen to not much of it, not because I don't love it, but because in this job I don't want to be influenced by other people's shows. So you know how that works. But also I'd like to hear some thoughts on the Masters, maybe whatever. Anybody, man, everybody was forced to talk about McGregor and prattle on. But what more is there to say? If a guy flips out and commits an assault or throws chairs and dollies at the freaking bus, and he's charged with a crime. That's the end of the story. There is nothing else to say. You can't get into his head other than to say he's freaking crazy. And is it such a surprise that people who beat the bejesus out of each other for a living are a little bit aggressive and over the top in their responses to things they don't like?
Yeah. No, it's not.
Like, what's...
But, you think that can be solved in 60 seconds, and ESPN people who are network execs and tell you what to talk about beg to differ, buddy. Because the fill-ins for Stephen A. need to talk about it for a full 22. That's just how it is.
I don't know how you could, though. Honestly, I don't know what you would say. What would you say? I've thought about that. What would you say? I thought about it today. I thought that's crazy because they are mandated. I know how that works. They're mandated. Some topics you have to talk about. Now, I get it. If you're hosting a national show, it's tough. You have to appeal to a broader range of people. But damn, man, that certainly is assuming an awful lot about the intellect of the people tuning into your show. And here's what I will tell you. Sports Talk Radio listeners are educated, bright, they have good jobs. By and large, you wouldn't assume that necessarily because you think of the abhorrent reaction oftentimes of the most out there fans. But that's not true. That's not the core of sports-loving people. We know this. The research shows us this, that people who listen to Sports Talk Radio are educated, are smart, do have.
They're not Twitter people. Like, those fans that react to...
You would think
well,
they would
know
be,
who I'm
but
talking
yeah,
about.
they're not. No, right.
It's not that. It's not the comment section.
No.
No, it's the guy who is leaving his job at a lawyer's office or a doctor's
and
office.
He enjoys sports, and he's right.
He likes his luxury sports car, and he's driving home, and he just wants to listen to hear what the hell the Knowles are doing. Because he cares about the Knowles.
Or he wants to be entertained in some way. I just don't know how – I don't know what you would say about that story. I mean, he's got an attorney. He posted bail. He's 29 years old. We all know who Conor McGregor is. But there's nothing more to the story other than that. There can't be, right? Other than what should they do? Well, they press charges. There's nothing you can do. I guess you could get into whether or not they should allow him to fight again, but
why do they prop him up as a role model?
Is that a 10-minute conversation? Is Dana White, would you have to talk? Well, here's what Dana White should do. Tommy, I was thinking about this on the way over. Dana White has got to send a message to the rest of UFC and suspend him for the year. And then you're supposed to yell back at me, they can't do that, Cameron. He is UFC. Well, what are you saying to America's youth who admire these fighters, Tom Lang, if you did not suspend him for assault? We're not talking about something that happened in the octagon. We're talking about something that happened in society.
Yeah, well, so what? These guys aren't role models. That's just you projecting on Conor McGregor that he's a role model.
So I guess we could do it, but you'd have to do it with conviction. You'd have to pretend you care enough about Conor McGregor.
Well, and this is where I feel bad for the people, even if they're not good. It's like they're given a national platform today to fill in. And you're all over the country on ESPN Radio. You're like, all right, I get a chance once again to put some tape together so I can get the big job when it opens up. And then the execs tell you got to fill the first 2 or 3 segments, 80% of which is going to be about Conor McGregor. You got no chance.
The story is that Conor McGregor was charged by the New York City Police Department with 3 counts of assault and 1 count of felony criminal mischief after he turned himself in today. That's the end of the story. There's nothing else there. He threw a freaking dolly at a bus and a chair, and he's been, he posted $50,000. But there's your story. I touched on it.
Would you? Well, yeah. I'll send the tape up. I'll just send that little part.
That's the story.
Yeah.
This all stemmed from a dispute about a vacated title. If you need more, there's your background.
Would you not prefer more talk about WrestleMania than that particular topic?
Yes, I would, even though I don't know that appeals to the masses.
Are your kids excited for WrestleMania?
Yes, and in fact, I've been told repeatedly that the kids want to go to bed very early on Saturday so that they can get up on Sunday and then spend from the beginning of it to the end, no matter what time it ends, they could stay awake. And I don't know, what time does WrestleMania start? 4 o'clock on Sunday?
I forget.
Matthew
7
probably
maybe?
knows. Matthew, when does WrestleMania begin? Well,
5 or so.
All right, 5 or so on Sunday. See how enthusiastic he was about that?
Well, it doesn't get good. I mean, those are
they have all
the
those
NXT
prelims.
matches and stuff.
Yeah. So the kids, what time will it end, Matthew? 11 o'clock?
It's usually 11.
11 or 12 o'clock?
Yeah.
So that's why my kids are lobbying. Hey, Dad, if we go to bed early on Saturday, can we stay up for all of WrestleMania on Sunday? And I thought in my head, WrestleMania, I thought I had heard it started at 4 o'clock on Sunday. I thought, well, sure, you can stay up. It's probably in my mind, I thought it's going to be over by 8.
No, the main event's never till 10:30 or 11 o'clock.
I've been to a damn WrestleMania. I sat ringside for a WrestleMania. I should know that.
Excuse me.
I'm not trying to be an...
I'm sorry, Scott Van Pelt. You've been to one, so you tell me. You tell me. You tell me how I need to feel about this.
No, I'm not telling you how you should feel. I'm saying I should know. I'm making fun of myself. I should know when the hell it gets over. I was ringside for Triple H's match against the Dead Man.
Oh, you were?
I was. I saw it all.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Was that the one where, because they had several of those.
It was awesome. It was a brutal, brutal match.
Was that the one where Triple H is yelling, why? Why won't you die? Or was that a different year?
I don't remember if he was yelling that. He might have been. I don't.
Did the Undertaker do a headfirst dive over the ring onto the concrete in that one?
He did all kinds of things. I mean, it's just.
Did you watch the match?
I was there. Yeah, I mean, I watched it. It's all the matches are the same. I did. That was the one where the redheaded guy, Sheamus, beat Daniel Bryan in 9 seconds. He kicked him in the face, and it was.
Really?
Yeah, it was awesome. He kicked him in the face and pinned him in like 9 seconds.
Well, apparently Daniel Bryan's back. He can wrestle again. Well, but I heard there was also something. You see, Lebertard was covering this because they're sending Mike Ryan. He's going to go to New Orleans.
Right.
Braun Strowman has a tag team partner thing.
He does? I have been out of the loop lately. And the
kids, who is going to be his tag team partner?
Yeah. I don't know. But I thought Braun Strowman was fighting what's his face? The jumping around guy that's UFC. Brock Lesnar.
Oh, Brock Lesnar.
I thought he was fighting Brock Lesnar.
And that might be his last match because the UFC might let him back in after all his failed drug tests.
Boy, we're getting to the bottom of things this segment, aren't we? What they should do with Conor McGregor and the UFC. Dana White's got a problem on his hands, Tom Lang. Why can't we just segue on over to something a little bit more entertainment-friendly like WrestleMania and get into whether or not this is Brock Lesnar's final match? And if that's the case, what are they going to do with the great Paul Heyman?
It's a wonderful question.
Because he is the best part of wrestling.
He's going to sit at the desk and do a panel show with Seth Greenberg because they sound the same.
Short of Paul Bearer or whatever his name was who died.
Oh, poor Paul Bearer.
Well, we play his clip all the time. He was the best.
Poor little Kane.
Right. So when he was around, I loved him. Now it's this guy. I love him.
Why should you believe me? Because Kane told me so. That's why you should believe me.
That they need to get back to that level of absurdity.
Kane is alive!
When Kane is supposedly in the bushes watching a house burn down, a funeral parlor burn down. It's so ridiculous. You got to do that. You got to go all in over the top absurdity.
When you're in need of auto never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
TNT. Smoother. Bolder. Sharper. Comfier. Smarter. Fiercer. Tougher. Stronger. Longer. Greater. Prouder. Gravely Zero-Turn Mowers. TNT.
In the falling rain. And 2 years later, youthful brilliance won every round as Jordan Spieth earned his title with a wire-to-wire win, equaling Augusta's all-time scoring record. Rolex is and always will be a part of golf and is proud to celebrate the Masters' greatest moments. It doesn't just tell time, it tells history.
Jordan Spieth said yesterday after his 6 under 66 there would be a point this week when he wasn't leading the tournament. That moment has arrived after a 2 over 74 Could have been much worse, though, after his double bogey start. Spieth is 3 shots off the lead held by Patrick Reed. Also at 4 under with Spieth, Rory McIlroy and Henrik Stenson. McIlroy shoots a 1 under 71 today. Stenson's on the course. He's 1 under today, making the turn. Best round of the day so far, a 4 under 68 fired by both world number 1 Dustin Johnson and world number 3 Jon Rahm. Johnson is 3 under, 4 shots off the pace. Rahm is 1 under, 6 back. Also at 3 under with DJ, Bernd Wiesberger and Adam Hadwin. Ricky Fowler among those at 2 under par. Fowler with an even par 72 today. Also Tony Finau, who shot a 2 over 74. Louis Oosthuizen and Justin Rose in the clubhouse at 2 under par. Phil Mickelson wonders if he'll play the weekend. He's at +5. That's right on the projected cut line at the moment. From Augusta, I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
WrestleMania is coming to Tallahassee. At Hooters, no cover charge. Stay the duration of the event. Special start time at 7 p.m. Watch the anticipated debut of Rowdy Ronda Rousey in the WWE. Will Team Rowdy take down Team McMahon on WWE's greatest stage? Don't miss WrestleMania live at Hooters. While you're there, try their smoked wings, half the calories, so you can have twice as many. Remember, no great story ever started over breadsticks. Hooters makes you happy. 2000 North Monroe Street, or call them at 385-2004.
Hendrick.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your savings. Race into Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC for the best selection and service in Tallahassee. Get incredible discounts on racetrack-worthy vehicles, like $10,000 off select new Buicks and GMCs. We are professional grade. And that's not all. We've got a huge used car inventory, so you can find a quality pre-owned vehicle to fit any budget. We even offer low payments and exceptional offers, like 0% APR financing. Hassle? No way. Haggle? Never. At Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC, you'll deal with people you know, like, and trust, and get the honest, friendly service you deserve. That's why our customers will tell you there's no better car buying experience in town. Visit us today at 1850 Capitol Circle Northeast or online at DaleJr.BuickGMC.com. And remember, you too can be a Hendrick driver.
Want better gas mileage and a longer-lasting engine? Change your oil every 3 months or 3,000 miles, whichever comes first. You know that sticker on your windshield? Don't look at it now. Wait until the next red light. Okay, check the number on your sticker. Then check your odometer. Is it time? There are 19 Tallahassee area Super Lube locations, which means there's one close to you right now. No appointments, and you're in and out in no time. You can do this today. Super Lube, for better gas mileage and a longer-lasting engine.
How I love to Super Lube my car. Yes, sir.
Whatever you drive a Firestone. The 4,000 ASC certified technicians at Firestone Complete Auto Care will tell you there's nothing wrong with being a cog in a well-oiled machine. Head into Firestone Complete Auto Care and get $15 off a synthetic blend oil change.
Valid April 2nd through April 8th. Most vehicles. Additional fees may apply where lawful. Subject to restrictions available at driveafirestone.com.
What'll give up first? Your tired, calloused hands? Your willpower to keep pushing? Your clothing, fighting the elements? Nah, not with Carhartt. Everything you need is already built in. We just make your job a bit easier. I guess you could say we were born into this job. Boot Barn, carrying Carhartt, made since 1889. Boot Barn work. What's stopping you?
This is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Go. You don't usually associate John Daly with anything other than being fat and drunk, but how about fleet of foot on this day? Daly had to jump out of the way of an out-of-control vehicle that missed him and collided into his bus in Augusta today, according to a report by the Golf Channel. Despite having never won the Masters, Daly makes the annual trip to Augusta every April to pull Pete Rose. He sells merchandise and signs autographs for fans. He parks his RV bus in the parking lot of the local Hooters and sets up a table to receive the fans. And that's exactly where he was today when a woman lost control on Washington Road. Washington Road is the road there, Tom, when you go. I traversed 2 days in a row down Washington Road. This woman crashed into his bus, and he had to dive out of the way. Daly's fiancé said it wailed into the front of the bus. John dove out of the way, and he's tweaked his knee. That sounds like a Daly wife or a fiancé. They're all very similar.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of easy ways to go with that one.
And, yeah, there is. No one in the crowd or parking lot was injured, and Daly still plans to compete at the PGA Tour Championship there in what is it, the Mitsubishi Electric Classic in Duluth. Of course, that's what it is, Jeff. That's exactly the one you were thinking of.
The old Mitsubishi.
The classic. They're in Duluth. Yeah, so the whole point of that is this. John Daly found a way to, for a moment at least, be twinkle toes and avoid an oncoming car, no doubt driven by a woman who had had a good time at said Hooters prior to leaving the premises or perhaps arriving at the premises again. And what I'm surprised about is that John Daly himself was alert and focused enough to have done so. This story ordinarily reads John Daly crashed into his own RV on his way to meeting friends and family at the local Hooters.
So there's a local Hooters in Augusta?
Oh, that's what Augusta is.
Really?
Yes.
It's a cigarettes kind of town?
It's a beer and cigarettes kind of town, Tom Lang. Except for when you're on the grounds at the Masters. Now, again, I say that, but it is the have and have-nots that is Augusta, because there are neighborhoods that are gorgeous and scenery that is beautiful for days. And so certainly those people have jobs that pay them quite handsomely, and it must be at a part of the town that I didn't get to see, because the rest of that town sounds like a place where RVs are frequently parked and smashed into outside of a Hooters.
So on this side of Chiefland, what are we talking here? Is it better?
I got to be careful, man. I didn't get to see all of Augusta. I heard they opened the new movie theater downtown.
Oh, did they?
Yes. And so I don't know.
It's got stadium seating.
I don't know. But I will tell you, again, the neighborhood that I was in and the surrounding area where the corporate sponsors and others were, these people rent out their homes to the players and to, in this case, people like Adidas and
white
others.
White-collar Airbnb.
Corporate sponsors. And they get, what they get for the week, I think it is? They get something like 10 or 15 grand.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rent out my
I'd prefer
house
cash
too.
for 8, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
I'll take 8 for cash under the table. Just, don't worry about the maid service. I got you. Final hour, forthcoming. Stay with.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag Sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag Savings.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
And now Jeff and Eddie waste my time instead of recording a commercial.
I know we got to record this one, but remember that time with the thing and the guy?
Oh, and then we did that.
It was by the pool. It was by the pool.
And then
that guy jumped. The one guy
with the Speedo.
That was ridiculous.
Man, what a day! And then the guy
he came up with the food.
The truck.
He didn't even know. Had no idea.
And how about those girls?
If we could only recreate that, ridiculous. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Don't just listen to The Jeff Cameron Show. Watch it live. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Live weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. Head to ESPNTallahassee.com today to watch live or catch up on demand. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Brought to you by Nice Tire and Auto, your trusted Goodyear dealer.
Nice Tire and Auto, just minutes away from FSU campus.
Whatever you drive a Firestone. The 4,000 ASC certified technicians at Firestone Complete Auto Care will tell you there's nothing wrong with being a cog in a well-oiled machine. Head into Firestone Complete Auto Care and get $15 off a synthetic blend oil change.
Valid April 2nd through April 8th. Most vehicles. Additional fees may apply where lawful. Subject to restrictions available at driveafirestone.com.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
Bomani Jones with us now.
Stu Gods.
Yes.
Who are your two favorite bands in the world?
Grateful Dead and Pearl Jam.
White guys. White.
All right. Who's a better singer, Eddie Vedder or Prince? Prince.
Eddie
Who's
Vedder.
better at playing rhythms, Stone or Prince? Prince.
Yeah.
Who's better at playing lead guitar, McCready or Prince? Prince. Who's better at bass, Amen or Prince? Prince. Who's better at drums, whoever that dude is doing that bad John Bonham impression for Pearl Jam or Prince?
Yeah.
Prince.
Yep.
Who's better at playing guitar, Jerry Garcia or Prince?
Jerry Garcia.
Prince.
Jerry Garcia.
Prince is a better guitar player than Jerry Garcia. Hate to break it to you, homie. It's just what it is.
The Dan Le Batard Show. Weekdays at 10 a.m. on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Driving every day from the AmeriGas studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is 97.9 ESPN Radio. WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
Now, it's time for your Atlanta Braves update.
Fresh off a night off following a series win against the Washington Nationals, the Braves now embark on their first road trip of the 2018 season, starting later on this afternoon in the Mile High City. The Braves, victorious in Wednesday's rubber match against the Nationals and Max Scherzer at SunTrust Park, take to the road for a three-city trip that also features stops in the nation's capital and Windy City. This afternoon, Brandon McCarthy gets his second start of the young season, while the Rockies will counter with fellow right-hander German Marquez. McCarthy coming off a win against the Phillies on Saturday, where he allowed 2 earned runs over 5 1/3 innings in his Braves debut. Meanwhile, Marquez took a no decision in his season debut against the D-backs, allowing just 1 unearned run over 5 innings of work with 4 walks and 4 punch-outs. The Braves will enter this afternoon's series opener with 48 runs scored through the first 6 games of the season. That's the most in all of Major League Baseball. Additionally, the Braves bullpen has held opponents to a 172 average, posting a 161 ERA through the first homestand. With the Braves in Denver, I'm Kevin McAlpin for the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
Live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Libations Friday. Brought to you by Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. Corner Pocket Bar and Grill on Appalachia Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Final hour of the Jeff Cameron Show, at least for this week. And thanks for tuning to it. I'm Jeff. That's Tom. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming. Happy Libations Friday, loosey-goosey edition of the program. If you miss any portion of the show and you want to get caught up, you can, because when we're done with it, we'll post it on iTunes. We'll also post it in our own audio vault on the webpage, ESPNTallahassee.com. You can email the show if you like. It's jcs@979espnradio.com. On Twitter, it's at Jay Cameron Show. It's also at 979 ESPN Radio. Go there. You can watch us perform our radio duties via Periscope. You can also go to YouTube and type in ESPN Tallahassee, and you'll find us doing our radio work there, too. So, hello, YouTubers. I was all cheesy and wore my Master shirt today.
Tis the week, I suppose.
Yeah.
Is that a brand new one?
It is. I didn't have one previous. It's a brand new.
Well, you had the Yucatan Masters.
I do have the Yucatan Masters, which I love that shirt as well. That's a good shirt. This will be a shirt that I think, I paid good money for this T-shirt. I would think that, because that's what you do if you're there, is you end up paying good money for a T-shirt. So
you're not going to sweat in that one, and you'll
yeah. So what's going to happen here? This is going to get worn during Masters Week, and then it gets put away in some special place and is not worn again throughout the course of the year, so that I will be able to hang on to it, I think, for like 10 years. Because you just never know. You don't know when you're going to go back. Willie Taggart was there yesterday, and I knew he was flying in, and I knew President Thrasher was flying in because they were going to stay in the same place I stayed. I had to make way for them.
Wouldn't have to worry about Willie being too loud as a patron.
No, and I actually know what Willie had to say yesterday. I had a conversation this morning with Trey Jones on the grounds about an hour and a half before Harry Ellis was to tee off for his second round. And he ate dinner with him last night at the place that I stayed at, and they had a good heart-to-heart about what just transpired. If you're not a golf fan and you kind of just – it piqued your interest that we had an amateur golfer from Florida State participating in this thing, you might have thought, given Harry's accomplishments as a junior, as an amateur, where he won the British Amateur. That's how, by the way, I guess we should expound, it's how he qualified for the Masters. There are many ways to qualify for the Masters for amateurs. You can win the Pan American. You can win, any number of
the
events.
U.S.
The U.S. Amateur, correct. The British Amateur. The Mid-American, I think it is, amateur. That's the 30-year-old fireman that is making his debut.
That's cool.
Yeah. He, by the way, that story is an amazing story. I learned a lot about it while I was there. They did a special on it, but it's just cool. 30-year-old guy going out there playing for the first time ever because he qualified. He won the event. Going away, by the way, he boat raced the field at 30 years old. That is so cool. That's like a guy had a light bulb, something happened. Because he's a regular fireman.
This dream is still alive, man. This guy's an inspiration.
He is, though. Sometimes it's cheesier than hell. Not for you, Tom. It's not alive for you. But for people out there.
No, it's alive.
No, it's not. No.
Listen, man. I may not be a first responder, but you never know.
You were not a first responder, not a college golfer. He was, but you.
I didn't hear that. I don't know my headset. I don't know what's wrong with it.
Yeah, the point is this: that you can qualify a lot of different ways, and Harry qualified. He's played the British Open, and now he's played the Masters. So he's 22 years old, and he's now will have played in 2 majors, but. Admittedly, a lot of these guys, their first time out there, they have no chance. And let's just say it, they have no chance to make the cut. Drew Kittleson struggled, although he did something I didn't realize. He was one of the only, I can't remember which hole it was. It was a par 4. He was the first person to ever eagle this particular par 4. He did it out of the pine straw over water.
Huh.
It's crazy. But anyhow, the point would be this. A lot of people, and I saw this firsthand when I was walking with Harry and Trey, there were a lot of Florida State fans there. And there were a lot of Florida State fans there yesterday. And they saw Willie Taggart, President Thrasher, Stan Wilcox on the grounds walking, and it drew attention. And, of course, I think Willie was hoping to get in, get out, watch the round, fly back. They flew in and they flew out. They did not stay.
Oh, really?
They flew in for the round to lend support to Harry, and then they flew out.
I'd lend support the whole weekend, even if he didn't make the cut.
Yeah.
You know,
I'll stay here with you, Harry. We'll watch everybody.
I'm here.
So something to say about that is this: the people that come up because the kid has been so good in college, and because he won the British Am, they have an expectation that he's going to make the cut, or that's the goal. And of course, it is the goal for any player participating, but it's not always a realistic goal for certain guys. And it was interesting to listen to Trey because the people would come and say, hey, Coach, congratulations on your player. What an honor. We're Knowles, graduated in 92. We live in South Carolina, and we came here just to see him. And it was really cool. That happened a lot. And they'd said, you think he's going to make the cut? And you could hear them. You know, they were very eager. Like, you tell me yes, he's going to make the cut. And Trey, and you know Trey well.
Woo.
Trey is all class and really kind, but he ain't about that BS. You are going to get what you need to hear, whether you want to hear it or can handle it or not.
Yeah, I don't know that if you're not on board with a product that Trey could sell it to you. I don't know that he could.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's
But if you need instruction, this guy's going to give you instruction. And shoot, 2 years ago I was at the event, the Seminole Intercollegiate, and I walk around. It's Freddie's.
I was there this year.
You were there this year.
Yeah.
Freddie's retreat, 16.
Mm-hmm.
And I walk up, and Trey says, "What's up, man?" Gives me a big hug. He was glad I came out to watch a couple of rounds with him. And he goes, "You believe?" Beep 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 beep. He was just like any coach on a game day.
Yeah.
And he was talking about specific choices that the guys were making. He goes, "Watch this and see if this happens," and all that kind of stuff. But he was talking situational golf. The guy lives for situations. It's not about swing mechanics, but it's about how you handle your own mental game and how you handle course management.
And course, this is a second shot course. The Masters is a second shot course.
Yep.
So he's in his element watching these guys, because here's the thing. If you don't put yourself in a position in the fairway, specific area to land the ball, you cannot then, with your second shot, land the ball, save for the par fives, you cannot then land the ball on the area of the green that you have to land the ball on. And therefore, you cannot score. You will not score unless you make very unlikely putts from places that nobody makes those putts consistently.
Yeah, like Ricky saved a 66-footer earlier today.
That's
I mean,
right.
That's like 1 out of 250.
Well, Harry yesterday birdied, I think it was number 8, with a bomb.
Yeah.
But he doubled number 1 because he cranked it left off the tee, which was predicted by Trey before we went up to Augusta. He said, let me tell you what's going to happen. And this is amazing. This is how good these guys are at their jobs. He's sitting there. He said, listen, every first-timer, whether he's my player, an amateur, or just a first-time player on the PGA Tour who qualified for the Masters, make the same exact mistake. They cannot help themselves. They go left off the tee at 1 because they're trying to kill it. They're trying to bomb it out there because it's wide open. And you can let it fly. You can let the big dog go. And they want to hit it 350 yards. And he's like, instead of thinking about, I need to land it here to have the angle I need. Well, so once you go that far left, you've got a really difficult shot and to get to where you need to be on the
you
green.
need to place it to the front of the green at that point and hope you can get up and down with a wizard's, chip.
Well, he went exactly as predicted, dead left, tried to kill it, and he can hit it a mile. So he put himself in huge trouble, and he carded a double. The thought was immediately, how does he handle this? Because he's just doubled number 1 at the Masters. And he feels like everybody is watching him and laughing and that everybody's like, oh, nicely done, rookie, Whereas, in truth, every player on that course doesn't really care what anybody else is doing. They got their own game to worry about. And if you're off in the trees, they're thinking about what they got to do next, perhaps what they're going to do when they get to number 2. They're thinking a lot of things, but they're not worried about you. Just hurry it up, right? But you feel like they are, and you feel like you're embarrassing yourself, and you feel like the patrons are kind of mocking you, but you have to learn how to quiet your head. And he said, he goes, most can't. Most can't. It'll take him several holes before he realizes we're just playing golf. And it's about placing shots that you've done 1,000,000 times and seeing how close you can get to the area, the landing area that we've discussed 100 times since we've been here. Here's where you land on 1. Here's where you land on 2. Here's where you have to land on 3. And your misses have to be here. If you don't get it there, it's okay. You can get up and down from here, but not there. And what do you do when that happens? When the panic sets in, what do you do? The double bogey, he turned to Willie Taggart, and he said, you know what that is, Coach? And Willie looked at Trey and said, what? And he goes, that's your freshman quarterback throwing a pick 6 on the first pass of the game. And coming to the sideline, and his head's moving around, and he doesn't want to listen to you, and you're trying to calm him down because you see the bigger picture, but he doesn't. And he's angry, and he's emotional, and you need him to calm down because there's a ton of football to be played, and they're about to kick the ball back to us. And you're going to have to make another throw, and like now. So how do you get a kid to do that? How do you get a kid to calm down? And Willie said at the end of the round, after obviously Harry had a really tough day, tell Harry that it's much easier to climb than it is to hang on. Really cool thing to say to a kid who's trying to get there, who's climbing the mountaintop, right? Who's attempting to get there. And in a weird way, it lends you insight, I think, to what's going on here in spring. To Willie Taggart engaging for himself and this team and the coaching staff in the climb, right? In that once you're there, that's what makes Alabama amazing.
That's what made 2014 very difficult for us.
Very difficult, right? It's what why we sit in awe on a regular basis at Alabama in football, Duke sometimes in basketball when they have these prolonged stretches where they win 30-something games every year, and because even though they got good players, of course they do, it is just much harder to sustain excellence and not become almost immune to the little things that you have to do to continue the climb so that you're always aspiring to go beyond. Now, obviously, Nick is a freak because he can do it over and over and over and over and over again despite constantly winning championships. It's not enough. There's something that fuels him to continue to climb and not remain stagnant. And I don't know how that works because that's a level of psychology I don't have. That I don't have that degree. I can't understand how that works, and it's an amazing thing. But when you're a young player or a young team and you haven't done anything and you're trying to accomplish, sometimes maybe it's best you get reminded of that, right? That hey, you're still climbing, man. You're still figuring things out. Harry told me before his round on Thursday, on Wednesday, Harry said, well, I'm hoping this isn't my first, and this isn't my last Masters. My thought here this week is to learn as much as I can because he talked about staying in the crow's nest with the other amateurs and then having an opportunity to talk to past amateurs who then became PGA Tour players who came and spoke to them and asked them what that was like, their first experiences, and what can you glean, what can you learn, what can you do to improve so that the next time you come, you don't make those same mistakes. And it's really cool. I hate it for the kid, though, because he was terrible yesterday.
Something you can never know until you do it, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, and you just have to wear that. And if you want proof how damn difficult the golf course is, last year's champion threw up a 13. Harry didn't throw up a 13 on any hole yesterday, but last year's champion did, and he knows how to navigate his way around that course.
That's right. And who knows, he might make the cut. Because today this course is playing harder than it did yesterday.
Well, yeah, it's absolutely nuts. Good times. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Why does Mahindra have 97% satisfaction? Ask our owners.
This gives me the ability to do what I want to do when I want to do it.
I decided on Mahindra just because of the sheer strength, the size, the ease of the workability, and it was more of a comfortable machine than the others.
You could lift just about anything with that thing. It has never let me down.
And now get the industry's best 7-year limited powertrain warranty on select models.
TNT. Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Damage each year is nothing to laugh at. Visit Orkin.com to schedule an inspection and get 15% off.
Only 24 years old, Jordan Spieth is already a Masters legend. In 2015, he completed the tournament's first wire-to-wire victory in nearly 40 years, tying the record for lowest 72-hole score in Masters history. And now he pursues excellence at Augusta once again. Rolex is and always will be a part of golf and is proud to celebrate the Masters' greatest moments. It doesn't just tell time, it tells history.
Tiger Woods getting wet off the tee at 12 for the second straight day, but he saves bogey after a beautiful pitch onto the green. Woods now at +5. He's 12 shots behind the leader and right on the projected cut line. Let's check the leaderboard, brought to you by Orkin. Orkin has pest control down to a science. Visit Orkin.com. Patrick Reed is on top at 7 under, just made a bogey at 10 to drop back to 7. Mark Leishman and Charlie Hoffman are 2 off the lead, both at 5 under par. Rory McIlroy, Jordan Spieth, and Henrik Stenson are at 4 under. Stenson chipping in for birdie at number 11. Spieth in the clubhouse at 2 over 74 today after his 6 under 66 in the first round. Dustin Johnson goes low today with a 4 under 68. He's 3 under overall and 4 back. Also at 3 under is Adam Hadwin, the Canadian, is even par through 10 holes. From Augusta, I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
The Braves are back and ready to make 2018 the year they got back into the race for the National League East.
High fly, deep to left field, back toward the wall. That ball is gone for Freeman.
Atlanta Braves baseball on 97.9 ESPN Radio is brought to you by Metro Deli, Tallahassee's perfect lunch spot, and by AmeriGas Propane, driving every day. Monthly play-by-play schedule available at ESPNTallahassee.com.
Xfinity delivers the fastest internet, the most Wi-Fi coverage throughout your home, and the most Wi-Fi hotspots nationwide. Only from Xfinity. Call, click, or visit an Xfinity store today to experience all Xfinity has to offer.
Shot, save, Freeman scores!
The playoffs are here. The Corner Pocket is your home all spring long for all the heart-pounding moments in the NBA and Stanley Cup playoffs.
It's held in a shot, save, Freeman
The Corner Pocket on Appalachia Parkway next to Earth Fair is your headquarters for Trivia Tuesdays, Beer Bingo Thursdays, and of course, all the moments you'll never forget.
For the championship!
The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, 2475 Appalachia Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Commercial lawnmowers don't have odometers, but if they did, you might be surprised to see you could be mowing thousands of miles a year. That's why Gravely zero-turn mowers are built for the long haul. So when you're mowing the equivalent of Miami through Kentucky bluegrass country, all the way to Seattle, and back again every year, you can count on your Gravely zero-turn mower to get the job done, mile after mile. Gravely, built to mow the distance.
Over 150 new zero turns in stock. Visit TNTSupercenter.com to view inventory and pricing. In Thomasville, Georgia.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to give you special savings on the toughest tractors and utility vehicles on earth during the Mahindra Red Tag Sale. Hurry in for up to $7,900 in cash back and red tag savings. Only from Mahindra.
Up to $7,900 in cash back savings. Visit TNTSupercenter.com to view selection.
Offer with approved credit. See dealer for details. Program restrictions may apply.
In Thomasville, Georgia.
I'm Grant Langston, the new CEO of eHarmony. If you're online dating and looking for love, you're probably tired of the lazy text messages, dead-end conversations, and matches that never turn into dates. If that's you, it's time to try eHarmony. Dating apps of one kind or another have been around a long time, but at the end of the day, they're just virtual bars where no one ever buys you a drink. eHarmony's different. We're built to help you have a better relationship, and we do that with 17 years of research and experience. eHarmony's gotten really good at bringing compatible people together. People that want the same things you do and are ready for a real relationship. Hey, it can be fun to play around with online dating apps. But when you're ready to fall in love with someone and have a meaningful relationship, there's one app that's built to bring you real love, eHarmony. Go to eHarmony.com today and get a month free when you buy a 3-month plan. Use code DATE. eHarmony.com, use code DATE.
At Advance Auto Parts, we offer you the quality parts you want and knowledge you need to help get you back on the road. And we're always looking for ways to help you save. Right now, get CarQuest conventional motor oil for just $2.96 a quart. Talk about an amazing price. Plus, find great prices on CarQuest's full line of motor oil. Go to Advance or participating CarQuest Auto Parts stores to take advantage of this great offer while it lasts. Advance Auto Parts, where oil is priced like it should be.
Whatever you drive a Firestone. The 4,000 ASC certified technicians at Firestone Complete Auto Care will tell you there's nothing wrong with being a cog in a well-oiled machine. Head into Firestone Complete Auto Care and get $15 off a synthetic blend oil change.
Valid April 2nd through April 8th. Most vehicles. Additional fees may apply where lawful. Subject to restrictions available at driveafirestone.com.
See, very intrigued by the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
If you think that us making fun of Gronk is disrespectful, just know that we are worshipers at this particular church.
So we love the man. I mean,
we do love the man. Let's conclude this service, please, Guillermo, please, with a reading of Gronk's prayer.
Everybody please bow your head and hold hands. Our Gronk, who scores in sevens, hallowed be thy brain, thy kingdom dumb, thy will mix rung, on turf as it is in heaven. Feed us this day our daily meat spread, and don't forgive us our trespasses, as we don't forgive those who double cover against us. Lead us directly and repeatedly into temptation, but deliver that sexy body from evil. For spikes in the end zone, with great power, bring you glory forever. Amen.
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 The Dan Le Batard Show, weekdays at 10 a.m. on 97.9 ESPN Radio. You're locked in with the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Show 97.9 ESPN Radio. Noles baseball series on the road against Georgia Tech in Atlanta. Very quietly, Florida State is playing very good baseball right now, and I would say that I get it. Right now, it's just not on our radar, and it's the first time in a real long time that has been the case. It's not to say that I'm ignoring, because I'm not. I'm watching more baseball than Tom. But
hey, man,
I'm kidding. I should be watching more college baseball than you. But what I'll tell you is that I get it. I get it right now. I sense it from the community. You're not alone, and neither am I, for that matter.
College baseball, you're absolutely right. I'm watching a fair amount of Major League Baseball.
Me too. Pirates continue to start the season well, so I find myself rejuvenated.
I see you.
Yeah,
I agree. It's been a nice week for us too.
I know, and I see you beating the Cardinals, and I go, that's what you do right there. Nicely done. Yeah, but Polanco hit another home run yesterday, and I almost sent a nice missive over to our friend Matthew. But what this is that it's a tease. It's unfair, right? When teams do this, who aren't very good, they give you this chance, that feeling of, well, maybe. But what I tell myself is, you're beating up on the likes of Detroit and Cincinnati. Let's hold off.
Mm-hmm.
Let's wait a minute.
No coronation yet.
Yeah, you got to play some better teams.
Let's not leave the deposit for the facility. Yeah. Let's not go that far.
But I will say this, that as far as Florida State goes, all I ask in the regular season is, and I think all of us, the idea is you just continue to win series. Just win your ACC series. You don't have to sweep anybody, and you don't have to go on long winning streaks. You don't even have to always look pretty doing it. Get yourself some wins in these series. It would be nice to sprinkle in a victory against Florida every now and again, admittedly. You get your chance on Tuesday right here in our own backyard. It would be nice to win that game. I hate that they lost the 1-0 game, because they did a lot right in that game. They really did most things right in that game. It was just cruel. It's baseball, right? 1-0.
Yeah, and again, we had our fun a little bit at the expense of Florida State last week, but it's just you're looking for indicators that you have what it takes when it gets to winning time, and we're doing that right now, by and large. I agree. College baseball isn't on the radar right now all that much, and then next Thursday, starts the Stanley Cup playoffs. So at some point, there's going to have to be some carving out of time for Florida State baseball. But this is also the problem with succeeding the way we did last year, the second half of the season, making it to the College World Series. You kind of cannibalize your own regular season the way that college basketball does for a lot of big-time programs. It's about getting back to Omaha. So all of this is just the undercard until we get to when you can actually be sent home.
Yeah, but you and I both agree about this, that you got to find a way with a long baseball season to enjoy the ride, and really you're seeking to learn what kind of postseason team you're going to be. So you're right. On the one hand, nobody's jumping up and down on a nightly basis when you win a regular season baseball game. But on the other hand, you're trying to figure out just how competitive in that postseason you have a right to expect them to be. And you can only do that if you learn along the way against good competition. And right now, for Florida State, of course, if you don't know, they won two out of three against North Carolina in the last ACC series on the road. Yes, they lost 1-0 to Florida after that, but then they turned around and won 9-4 and 8-7 over Louisville. They lost the Sunday game, which is really a Saturday game because the series was Thursday through Saturday. But that's another series win. That Louisville team's very good.
Yep.
So that's a good series win. They turned right around and beat Jacksonville yet again, 6-2. And now they go and they play Georgia Tech. And if you can take 2 of 3 here, and Georgia Tech, by the way, is 500 in the ACC. They have been very good at home, not nearly as good on the road. In Florida State, away from home in the conference is above 500. So that's a good sign that they're playing well away from home. And by the way, this is the first time we've been to Atlanta since 2014.
Yeah, I was there. I covered that series. That was
right.
Easter weekend in 2014. I think it was 1,600 wins for 11 at that point. Mm-hmm. But they clinched that with a sweep on Sunday.
Was that not the site of a nasty spill? Somebody got hurt, I thought, in that series. I could be mistaken.
I missed the Saturday game, so I was with Warchant at that time, and I covered the Friday and the Sunday, and Buck Farmer pitched against Compton on Friday night, and that game went to extras. It was a really good one. Saturday, I don't remember. Sunday was an afternoon game, and it was academic. It was over pretty quickly. So if something occurred, it may have been Saturday that weekend. But that's neither here nor there in the sense that, yeah, you're right. This year's team needs to establish whatever its identity is going to be. Of course, Holton getting hurt takes the wind out of the sails. But what I also know about this team, and I have seen, is that Carp continues to pitch well.
Dominate.
Even the 2 runs he gives up to Jacksonville earlier this week, that's when we have a 6-0 lead, and your goal is to throw strikes. And if they can take him oppo out the yard at solo shots, no problem. You're up 6-0. So, I think the weekend rotation is about to get augmented for the better after we clear Florida this next Tuesday. And we'll see what we are then, because it is all about frontline pitching now that you don't have your ace.
It's also fun to watch a kid like Van Eck continue to emerge, right, as a guy that he's a freshman, and we wanted to see which of the freshman arms coming into the season that you thought you could trust. And he's thrown, if you go back to the 2 appearances at North Carolina, there in 6 innings against Louisville afterwards, he allowed 2 hits in each of those 2 games. Was the winning pitcher against North Carolina, held them scoreless while striking out 5. That turned out to be a 9-4 win. He allowed just a single run against Louisville in the first inning, but then retired 11 straight batters between the 4th and 8th innings. Think about that for him. So he's been very, very good. And, right there, a strikeout per inning with a 2.66. He's pitching extremely well. And you need somebody else to emerge there. You got to have a guy. So, that's what you do with a regular season. You find guys that you can throw into the fire. And those are 2 series. Those aren't – think about that now for a freshman. Getting those kinds of quality innings in against a North Carolina and a Louisville. That's not a midweek against a nobody. That's 2 prominent members of the ACC with talent.
Yes. Yeah.
So let's hope you get that and some more. And you've had some of that, So let's hope you continue to see guys like that emerge.
Well, and again, you want to see depth in the lineup too. So we'll see what younger players. There's been moments where your favorite, the Jack Wonder.
My guy, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's Reese Albert, who's somebody who also has flashed a compact swing and a lot of power.
So Jonathan Foster, and then you mentioned Albert, yep.
Yeah. So who are those guys going to be that can help lengthen the lineup to get you 6-7 deep by the end of the season? Because that's one thing last year's team had, outside of J.C. Flowers, who was really hitting a wall at that point in the season. I mean, everybody, even Henderson at second, they're working great at bats. They're getting on base consistently, and there wasn't an inning, a half inning, where a certain due up, you think to yourself, well, that's 1, 2, 3. So let's
close your eyes.
We got to, let's clear this, third of the lineup and get to the top. If you're looking for holes and what hopefully will be filled by the time we get to the postseason, it's defining 1, 2, 3 in the rotation and then hoping that you get some kind of consistency, whether it's Salvatore and one other role player piece. That's the second part to the equation too.
I wanted you to know, just because I know how much you hold him near and dear to your heart. Our man Red Applin, Tom, is hitting .319 since the ACC play began.
Sure.
So he's stepping up and hitting as he does.
Doesn't surprise me.
And my man Cal Raleigh has been very, very good. He ranks second on the team, hitting .308, and leads the team with the most amount of RBIs. I think it's 26 I saw last. He also has only struck out a total of 17 times this year. So he's a different player, and we thought that would happen. You find out that last year he played injured the whole season.
Yes, and again, there is potential for this lineup to have a little bit of balance. I know that they can be lefty-heavy at some times, but there is some potential there where you can, no matter who it is that you're facing, whether it's somebody who throws 95 from the left side or somebody who throws, and he's got a great changeup from the right side. It would be nice to have some balance, and that's something we're searching for as well. For the diehard Seminole fans out there, I'm going to protect myself here if they haven't tweeted already. It may have been 2012 that we had that season that we played up at Georgia Tech on Easter weekend. I just know there's like 3 or 4 people who are so angry at this moment because they're encyclopedias for times we've gone to Georgia Tech.
Oh, okay. Well, 2014 was the last time we went.
Right.
You're just not
it
sure.
May have been 12
that when you were
so,
there.
In case.
You protected yourself against angry people on the internet. It'll never work, Tom.
Angry Florida
They're
State baseball fans
angry.
who I know and love.
Okay.
There's a couple that I have appreciation for, so I don't want to ruin their Libations Friday by getting a year wrong.
Oh, Jesus, Tom.
Yes. Yes, exactly right. You know them. There are a couple of them.
I know, but I laugh at everybody on the internet. It's beautiful. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
TNT Supercenter is your one-stop shop for the largest inventory of golf carts and accessories, stocking over 150 new and pre-owned carts with prices starting under $2,000. Whether you're looking for a standard or custom golf cart, TNT has the perfect cart for you. TNT carries and services leading brands and the full line of premium Mad Jacks accessories. Stop by or call to find out about our zero-down, low-interest rate financing, free delivery, and rental programs. Visit TNTSupercenter.com.
TNT. Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men on a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Luckily, Walgreens is right around the corner to help me find the right allergy relief fast. With brands like Allegra, I get 24-hour relief for my toughest allergy symptoms. So even when allergy season is at its worst, Walgreens is there to help me feel my best. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. Now with cards, select Allegra products are $18.99 through April 7th. Use as directed.
Shot, save, rebound, score! The playoffs are here. The Corner Pocket is your home all spring long for all the heart-pounding moments in the NBA and Stanley Cup playoffs.
It's held in a shot, save, rebound,
The Corner Pocket on Appalachia Parkway next to Earth Fair is your headquarters for Trivia Tuesdays, Beer Bingo Thursdays, and of course, all the moments you'll never forget.
For the championship!
The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, 2475 Appalachia Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Jumpstart the new you with Muscle Maker Grill. Muscle Maker Grill's diverse menu is created for everyone from fitness enthusiasts to those just trying to eat better. Sign up now for the Muscle Maker Grill meal plan. Whether you're bulking up, slimming down, or saving time, we've got the right option for you. The best part? You can customize the amount of daily meals and the length of your plan for total control of your health. From low carb to high protein, low fat to gluten free, we have the meal choices that will fit perfectly to your lifestyle and needs. To learn more, visit us at 2020 West Pensacola Street or on the web at musclemakergrill.com. Muscle Maker Grill, providing great food with your health in mind.
What'll give up first? Your tired, calloused hands? Your willpower to keep pushing? Your clothing, fighting the elements? Nah, not with Carhartt. Everything you need is already built in. We just make your job a bit easier. I guess you could say we were born into this job. Boot Barn, carrying Carhartt, made since 1889. Boot Barn work. What's stopping you?
Don't just listen to The Jeff Cameron Show. Watch it live. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Live weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. Head to ESPNTallahassee.com today to watch live or catch up on demand. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Brought to you by Nice Tire and Auto, your trusted Goodyear dealer.
Nice Tire and Auto, just minutes away from FSU campus.
Want better gas mileage and a longer-lasting engine? Change your oil every 3 months or 3,000 miles, whichever comes first. You know that sticker on your windshield? Don't look at it now. Wait until the next red light. Okay, check the number on your sticker. Then check your odometer. Is it time? There are 19 Tallahassee area Super Lube locations, which means there's one close to you right now. No appointments, and you're in and out in no time. You can do this today. Super Lube, for better gas mileage and a longer-lasting engine.
Oh, I love to super lube my car. Yes, sir.
Now, it's time for your Atlanta Braves update.
Fresh off a night off following a series win against the Washington Nationals, the Braves now embark on their first road trip of the 2018 season, starting later on this afternoon in the Mile High City. The Braves, victorious in Wednesday's rubber match against the Nationals and Max Scherzer at SunTrust Park, take to the road for a three-city trip that also features stops in the nation's capital and Windy City. This afternoon, Brandon McCarthy gets his second start of the young season, while the Rockies will counter with fellow right-hander German Marquez. McCarthy coming off a win against the Phillies on Saturday, where he allowed 2 earned runs over 5 1/3 innings in his Braves debut. Meanwhile, Marquez took a no decision in his season debut against the D-backs, allowing just 1 unearned run over 5 innings of work with 4 walks and 4 punch-outs. The Braves will enter this afternoon's series opener with 48 runs scored through the first 6 games of the season. That's the most in all of Major League Baseball. Additionally, the Braves bullpen has held opponents to a 172 average, posting a 161 ERA through the first homestand. With the Braves in Denver, I'm Kevin McAlpin for the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
Live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Libations Friday, brought to you by Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. Corner Pocket Bar and Grill on Appalachia Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
National host on ESPN Radio. My apologies for those of you who had to listen to that today. They were all terrible. The fill-ins suck. And they really had not much to talk about beyond Conor McGregor.
You know,
what are we doing here?
SiriusXM has a good fill-in Rolodex, doesn't it?
They really do. They really do. They know who to reach out to. When they need content and professionalism and humor rolled into one on a slow day, they say, give me that guy over there. Give me that guy in Tallahassee. Give me that guy from South Florida. You know, the guy that I went on with, Dave Mouton, who was a host down in South Florida, covers and is the play-by-play announcer, I do believe, for Florida Gulf Coast.
Okay.
Is also a fill-in.
Oh, yeah. Well, we had him on as a guest last year before the first round.
Yes,
I knew
we
that
did.
name sounded familiar.
Yeah, good guy. I was on with him yesterday.
Yeah.
At the end of the show, we did the crosstalk, as they call it back in the studios time. We did a little cross-talking.
It's like when Cowherd used to do that with Van Pelt and Rosillo.
Yeah, we did a little cross-talk, and they told me, you know what? When I'm discovering when I fill in at these guest spots, the producers in D.C. or if you're working with a producer in New York, they want you to be as comfortable as possible. So they're in your ear telling you, your countdown, what you got next, what your next read is, and they send you all that stuff, and it's great. And it's nice having 6 people like constantly monitor time and hard outs and calls and everything else, right? But they also assume some things that they ought not assume. Like, everybody on the roster of people that work for SiriusXM. And as a fill-in, which is what I am currently, a part-time guy for SiriusXM on SEC, ESPNU. I'm a full-time guy on the golf PGA Tour channel, but it's just a once-a-week show. But anyhow, the point would be this. I don't know everybody they have. I don't know everybody that fills in and hosts certain shows. I'm not glued to that network all the time. I've got my day job here. And the producer in D.C. yesterday says, while I'm in the middle of a conversation asking Rick Neuheisel about these quarterbacks, right? And it really interesting dialogue and insight from him. He sat and watched all of them throw. He's been to their camps. He went to the pro days. So I'm picking his brain, right?
How about these quarterbacks, Rick? I mean, look at the arms on these guys.
Well,
huh?
no, it's just simple. All I have to say is, what are your fears about Josh Rosen? What are your strengths? What are the strengths? And he said the same thing I said about, well, there's nobody that throws a better ball than Josh Rosen in this draft. But, he's a little.
Yeah, if you have 2 eyes and a brain, you can see that he throws the most jaw-dropping.
Oh, he's good. He's just if he's not going to be in any weird way a head case, which is everybody's fear. Mm-hmm. The other fear they have with Josh Rosen, and this is the only other thing, and I'll get back to my point, is that he is injury prone. And I don't know how you predict that. I don't know what you do there, but he is injury prone. He gets hurt a lot. He seems to be fragile. You don't want to be drafting people in the top 5 picks that are quote-unquote.
Well, that's not going to work.
No, fragile is a problem. He gets hurt all the time. But it was like when Christian Ponder was here. He didn't get hurt all the time, although he was hurt a lot. He could not hold on to the ball if he got sacked. That was going to be a fumble.
He was kind of hurt all the time.
But that was partly because he was rugged. He wouldn't slide and all that.
No, he would not.
But the point of the whole thing is this. They want you to do this crosstalk towards the end of your show so you can properly promote the next show. And the next show is called Playbook, and David was filling in. I don't know who they have filling in. And she goes, remember, you're going to be on here in a minute, guys. And I'm talking. I'm in the middle of talking, so this is in my ear. You're going to be on in a minute with David to make sure you promote the show that's coming up after you as we bring David on. And I'm like, so I'm frantically texting going, who the hell's David?
Yeah.
Who am I talking to? Who am I promoting?
I still don't understand the ability to have somebody talk in your ear as you're talking. I don't get that. That's impressive.
Well, you get used to it, but it is weird. And I think it would be harder if you were looking at a
I turned my mic off, Jeff.
Yeah, it'd be really difficult if you were looking at a television camera. Like, I could keep doing that while you were talking. Because I think nobody can see my reaction while they're doing it here. And I can even, take one headset off because they only talk in one ear.
Right.
So it's not in both ears. So
that helps.
That does help. So Rick could be prattling on about something, and I just take it off and listen to the producer, or vice versa. I'll ignore the producer. Like, hey, man, I know I got to read.
And on TV, you have to be stoic and look at the camera.
Right, that's what I mean. On TV, they're locked in, and they're like, remember, you're throwing it to the Crest commercial next and whatever
Straighten
else.
your tie if you heard this message.
Yeah, you're like, and you'll watch, these guys are smooth, and somebody does say that.
Meanwhile, in Syria.
He'll be like, coming up next, we'll head to the luge, and you'll see them just adjust their tie and continue to talk and look
Dennis
at the camera.
Miller offers his thoughts on Syria. Coming up next.
Let's get an update, shall we? A little Westwood One action?
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Smoother, bolder, sharper, comfier, smarter, fiercer, tougher, stronger, longer, greater, prouder. Gravely Zero-Turn Mowers.
The falling rain. And 2 years later, youthful brilliance won every round as Jordan Spieth earned his title with a wire-to-wire win, equaling Augusta's all-time scoring record. Rolex is and always will be a part of golf and is proud to celebrate the Masters' greatest moments. It doesn't just tell time, it tells history.
Tiger Woods has his first birdie of the day and his first birdie on a par 5 this week. It comes at number 13. He follows with a par at 14, so Woods at +4 overall, 11 back of the leader Patrick Reed. It's looking like Woods will be here over the weekend, though. Phil Mickelson, a question mark for the weekend after a 7 over 79 today. Lefty +5 overall, right on the projected cut line. At the top, you've got Reed at 7 under, Leishman at 6 under, Charlie Hoffman at 5 under, but he dunked his tee shot in Rays Creek at 12. He'll drop at least one shot there. At 4 under par, it's Rory McIlroy and Jordan Spieth, both in the clubhouse. Spieth a 2 over 74 today. He was at 6 under with a 2-shot lead when he began this round. McIlroy a 1 under 71 today. Dustin Johnson and Henrik Stenson both 3 under par. DJ, the 2016 U.S. Open champion, with a 4 under 68 as Johnson is now in the mix. At 2 under par, Tony Finau, Ricky Fowler, Louis Oosthuizen, Justin Rose, and Bubba Watson. From Augusta, I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
Tallahassee Sports Authority.
Your station is the great tower of filth mentioned in the book of Revelation.
This is Tallahassee Sports Authority, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Games for Less, the only locally owned and operated gaming store in town, has Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used video games and game systems. The future of video gaming is at Games for Less, where they have both the PS4 and Xbox One. It's time to trade in your old systems and elevate your gaming experience now. Games for Less is also your headquarters for the best in retro gaming. Atari 2600, original Nintendo, Super NES, or Sega Genesis, you name it. They got it at Games for Less. Games for Less, the Super Walmart Shopping Center on Appalachia Parkway. Give them a call today at 850-219-3535. That's Games for Less.
Whatever you drive a Firestone. The 4,000 ASC certified technicians at Firestone Complete Auto Care will tell you there's nothing wrong with being a cog in a well-oiled machine. Head into Firestone Complete Auto Care and get $15 off a synthetic blend oil change.
Valid April 2nd through April 8th. Most vehicles. Additional fees may apply where lawful. Subject to restrictions available at driveafirestone.com.
Shot, save, rebound, score!
The playoffs are here. The Corner Pocket is your home all spring long for all the heart-pounding moments in the NBA and Stanley Cup playoffs.
It's held in a shot, save, rebound,
The Corner Pocket on Appalachia Parkway next to Earth Fair is your headquarters for Trivia Tuesdays, Beer Bingo Thursdays, and of course, all the moments you'll never forget.
For the championship!
The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, 2475 Appalachia Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
This is the Jeff Cameron Show. Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Just let it play on a Libations Friday, Masters weekend to be.
I agree. No, I agree.
It's a beautiful thing, man. It's hard. I want to watch, but I want to be somewhat active.
Right.
But you can't. It's golf. You got to sit in front of the TV and watch it, and you feel guilty after a little while.
Yeah, you're captive. Yeah,
man.
But it happens to me with the Open Championship because I do wake up very early those weeks. And it's not as much of a shock to the system as it used to be because I am kind of up early these days anyway. But I mean, you get there, you start watching. It's 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and you get to about 10.
It's been 6 hours straight.
I've been watching this for 6 hours. I mean, I might want to get up. Maybe I got my Fitbits yelling at me.
It tells you, stand up, you lazy bastard.
Hey, a-hole.
Yeah, you got to move every once in a while.
I get it. Tiger's on a par 5, and you want to see if he gets home in 2. But you know what? You've had about 45 minutes before that where you had a chance to step. So let's do it.
Yesterday, and this has nothing to do with nothing other than we love to watch guys who are really good at what they do sometimes look a little bit more like the rest of us. the Sergio Garcia 13, when I got home, because we were on the air yesterday, so that happened. I couldn't see it, and I know Matthew had seen it. They were all long and then trickled back into the water.
You ruined my day when you brought that up.
No, it's not my fault.
I know it's not your fault, but it's
I didn't put 5 in the water.
Just hurt.
But the point would be this, that so we were talking earlier about how you can get away from you if you're not in the right spots on that course. But he was in the right spot, and he didn't. That's the first time I've ever seen a 13, for starters, by a PGA Tour professional.
Right.
And then it's also the first time that I thought, as I was watching the replay anyhow, those aren't bad golf shots.
No, they're all, a couple of them are just
like,
when they land on the green, you go, I know that it's going in the water, but how is that possible?
Yeah, and he said it. So here's what I thought. Tiger, Sergio over the years. Now he's been a different guy, admittedly, since he won, and even before he won, it seemed like he had come to grips with his career and what had happened up till then, and he had found some peace. Right, that's why a lot of people were happy for him, because he had been a bad guy relative to golf. A few times on the course, spitting in the cup and saying things to patrons and not willing to accept responsibility for poor choices on the course and things like that. But he had come out of that and matured and handled it and kind of moved on. So a lot of people were happy to see him win last year. But he had been an excuse maker for a very long time. No matter what went wrong, he was cursed. He once said he was cursed.
Yeah, Tiger slamming the club in his bag before he swung.
Right.
Now that I've been to a PGA Tour event and one that was reputable, I don't know about that. I mean, if you're on the other side of the fairway, I don't know how that's possible. That Tiger would have to have thunderously dunked a 2-iron into his bag for that to get in the way of you on the other side of the fairway.
It didn't. He was filled with excuses. There was always somebody or something to blame for why something didn't go well. I mean, you name it, whatever it is, he talked about it. And so yesterday when he threw up a 13, and I heard the quote during the break, like I hadn't gotten home yet. He had concluded his round. There's a quote. Oh, I know what it was. I was in the car. I heard his quote. He did the interview afterwards, and they were, of course, asking him about it. He handled it with class and about as level-headed as you can find somebody be after a 13, especially when you play the rest of the day. What was he, 1 over for the other holes?
Yes.
So he would have been right there.
Yeah.
He handled it well, and even kind of at one point almost chuckled, but he said it just wouldn't stay on the green. I don't know. It didn't want to. I kept hitting good shots, and they just wouldn't stay on the green. And somebody asked him what he would have done differently, and he goes, I striped it. I hit every shot the way I wanted. I don't know. Michael Collins, the caddy, was a guest this morning on Golic and Wingo, which we're just talking about Michael Collins. Anyhow, he's funny, and he caddied on tour, and he knows all these guys well. And I did wonder, and it was a good question, they asked him, what do you do as a caddy in that situation with a player? Your player is in the middle of a tin cup-esque meltdown. He's thrown 4 straight in the drink at the Masters. What do you do? And he goes, well, with the first one, especially, it's just whatever. That's okay. We can get up and down. That's all right. Just trust your shot here, and we'll get up and down.
No, Dustin did that yesterday. He went in the water on 15.
Yeah.
And then he hit his wedge. He hit his wedge to about, 16 inches and tapped in for his par.
Right.
Yeah.
So Michael Collins was saying, you just tell your player, that's all right. Hit a good shot here. We'll get up and down, take our par, and move on. What do you do the second time it goes in the water? All right. You give him the ball, and you just say, hey, trust your shot here.
That's crazy. Don't worry about it. I mean, the way those shots went, too, it's easy
to
talk to your player.
He said the second time you hand him the ball and you just say, trust it. Yep. Do it again. Swing it again. What do you do the third time? He goes, you don't say anything. You don't say anything because now there's nothing you can say. You give him the ball and you back up. And you hope as a caddy, because you'd like to get paid, that he hits a good shot here, because you'd like to be around for the weekend so you can collect a check. Now the concern moves to you. You as a caddy begin to say,
yeah,
I sure hope my guy hits this right here. I'd like to get paid for my work this week. And then you hand him, and the fourth time, they asked him, what do you say the fourth time if you didn't say anything the third time? He said, you're tempted to say, hand me the club. But, of course, you don't.
Right.
And you just hand him the ball.
But the option to do that instead of drop, I mean, I get it. He didn't want to hit a half wedge.
I guess.
And at that point, there was defiance in him. But, admittedly, I was the same way you are. And Sergio is that type of player who will make excuses. So I thought, all right, it may have gotten even with the pin, but this thing, I'm sure, was drawn back on a string, and it, flew into the water with backspin.
No, when you watch it,
it didn't.
He really
he really got screwed.
It's a wonder that a lot of people didn't do that yesterday.
Well, and if you look at it, each time it rolls back into the water, there's somebody's ball that's sitting on the slope, and it's just laughing at Sergio's golf ball the whole way. It's like, boy.
You're going to go off the grid again, are you?
Work on your grip strength there, pal.
Well, and it's actually a testament to hitting it too well.
Right. Which is what he'd say, and you'd roll your eyes. But he's telling the truth.
I was clean. I picked it as well as you can pick it.
Yeah.
And that's why the spin was over the top.
The boy who cried, it's not my fault.
Yeah. It's crazy. But I thought he handled that well, because I was thinking the whole time I was watching that, man, I might throw a club. I know it's the Masters. But if I threw 4 straight in the water, he didn't throw 5 straight in the water. He hit 5 in the water total, but he threw 4 straight in the water. Well, not in the water, on the green, then they rolled into the water. I don't know how you don't toss a club there, man.
Well, the question is, if he didn't win the Masters last year, what would he have done yesterday?
He would have been correct in his conviction that golf was out to get him.
He would have attacked and killed a patron.
He would have said, I've been telling you all for years. For years that the game specifically is out to get me.
Do they have the death penalty in Georgia?
If you want proof, look at this. Good work out of you. Good work, Matthew. You guys have a great weekend. I'll talk to you on Monday. Be well.